Welcome back to the pack, guys, and welcome to what is this? Mindini is invincible in some sort of dream world thing. I don't know what it's called. Let me see right here in here. It's Mindini is invincible in the world of dreams. Okay, yeah, she's gonna turn into a monster. We can't defeat her. Pretty much. That's what's gonna happen here. Apparently. I like this though. They're making like a dream event or something. Like they're bringing in characters that were part of other games that they already had no other way of bringing in, and they're just making a unique event for just the game. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh no.
Let's see what we got in store.
Oh, there's so much gold in the gem shop.
I probably should have saved up all the rank up stuff though. Like if you rank up, it helps you get. No, it doesn't. Never mind. I was about to say I already got my tact points for the week. Yeah, and we're open on voice call here if anybody wants to join. I know got Hutch and anyone else is welcome.
Yeah.
So
take a look at the normal gem shop. They got
a special
200k gold worth in there, but it'll be almost 10k gems.
20,000, and you get things. Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, you're right. There's 200,000. That's okay. I guess if someone needs it.
I mean, yeah, you're mostly buying that for the gold. I could care less about the XP. The XP is nice to get, but
yeah, it's incidental. It doesn't matter. Leveling up, set aid, bonus. Yeah, you're paying 29.80 for an orb here. That's bullshit. Just making it seem better. Nothing worthwhile there. Let's check the shop. We have the second ticket thing. Okay, that's good. Dream swap shop. We got a lot of orbs. I might go for the 10 and the 15. I don't know yet. Or I might just go for the 10 because, again, we're going to have an orb shortage, guys. It's going to be pretty brutal. And I'm basically...
I'm already down to 4.
Yeah. I'm basically going to go for, like, question mark fragments here. I'm going to get all of the question marks. And then maybe some hero. Maybe some dragon. Let's see, where am I at with the dragons? 81. 81 on the dragons, and heroes also, it's at 89. Not bad. Not good, not bad. Illustrious crystals. Those are traps. Don't go for the illustrious crystal, guys. That's probably a trap if you think about it. Not worth.
Paid banner got me Queen Slime and Night Clubber. Lovely.
It's already better than what I would get, probably. Who knows? Well, I don't have any event currency, so there's that. The Murdaugh tickets. I would love to do that on air here. Voucher for 1 Murdaugh scout. I do feel like I should pull the weapon before I pull the unit. Sometimes. I honestly feel that way. We got another orb. More stuff. More mats. 40 twigs there. I'm gonna have to clear out those twigs quick, boy. Yeah. You know I'm gonna hit that battle road overnight so hard. Oh, geez. Look at this. 2 5 gold exchanges, and then 4 total if you look at the 1 gold exchanges. Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. To anyone going into this many, that's crazy. Like, at that point, I wouldn't farm that much extra, because it's like, at that point, it's not worth the damage it's causing my phone battery having it tap overnight. That's not, yeah, probably not worth it. Alright, let's check. Got our daily.
Yeah, the phone would probably have to be on 24/7 on that.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so we're almost we are capped on stam. Let's just get to it then. I timed this properly.
So what, there's 60 irises in total?
Something like that.
Yeah, it seems that way. 60 iris.
We got that XP. Let's do our daily story. I'll probably clear one of these just on auto. See how well my units do that.
Hey, tech card. Do you buy the extra tech? The tech card?
I might. Is it out now?
Oh no, I just mean like, you know, the normal extra one that you can buy.
A lot of events have extra ones where it's like what, 25,000 gold, 50,000 gold or something, and it has like.
Yeah, I just mean the normal extra one that you can buy.
No.
Just points in general.
No, I don't buy the silver tacked cards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't buy those.
I buy them. I think it's worth it.
Well, I guess you would know. I'm not gonna spend that much on the game. It just feels like too much already.
Yeah, your luck is pretty bad too.
Yeah, it's like if I go into the tickets, it's not good.
I've had good luck with the tickets since Grey Gnarl. I've had pretty good luck.
Yeah, people see my my gem luck and they're like, "Oh, that's so cool. That's so amazing." It's like it is not, you know, because like when everything's averaged out between the free stuff and the, you know, using free gems to pull, it's not worth it at the end of the day, I think. Like I'm probably just under average compared to. You raised your voice by like 2 octaves there, buddy.
I'm just happy. I'm having my coffee.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, who the fuck was that? I don't know who that was.
Yeah, I love when people don't have the thing up so they can't see, so you just come up on a stupid voice. They're just like, what the fuck?
Oh, I saw you. I saw you.
I'm already fanning the flames of fire, by the way, because I'm like, here's the Square Enix notice for Japan. Here's proof that they got 30 days. We've only got 24 for this event, while we have all this overlap with, like, you know, the tomes and the, you know, double drops for units.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to get those frags. Unexpected error has occurred. Nice. That's lovely, isn't it?
I love that. Well, I was just checking that ghost. Yeah, it's
That happens to me like 10 times a day.
But apparently, if it happens,
error is so annoying.
if it happens outside of a match, when I have my tapper tapping away, it doesn't click me back into the match to resume, because it happened outside of the match. So it used to just be the errors would happen when you're inside a match, not when you're outside loading into the next one. But apparently, if I just beat the stage and it has the unexpected error then there's no way I could get back. You know what I mean? Because I have it set up.
Yeah.
I have my. I'll show you guys.
I had something like that happen where it crashed as it loaded into one of those stages. You know how when you
You see these 2 points on the screen? That's where I usually have it.
Things where you get like a token. I was like, hey, like I loaded in and the stage just crashed immediately. And I put a ticket in because I'm like, I'll see how that goes. And I got a response going like, sorry, once the thing is spent, we can't do anything about it. But I took clear to say like, hey, I clicked and before I'd even been able to do anything, I got an unexpected error. The thing crashed. I didn't actually like.
Did you screenshot
it from this? No, because like the app itself just crashed. I didn't get the like unexpected notice. It just went out. But like I thought they'd be able to look and see and be like, hey, went into this stage, got no rewards, didn't die, didn't anything. I didn't abandon it. But yeah, they were just like, no, it got spent, so you can't do anything about it. I don't know, that fucking sucks. Because you know, everything else refunds things.
I know with normal PvP matches, like if an error happens or something, like I'll load back into it, but does it do that for GVG?
I don't know about GVG because fortunately I've never had it happen there. But anything like the like one per day gold event or the XP event or things, if those crash, you don't get to resume them. And it's probably going to be the same then with that like pillow event thing.
I usually just use a skip ticket for the XP one. And I auto the other ones. Just because those things, like, if you get bad RNG, and they just...
Yeah, I used skip ticket. A couple of days ago, accidentally because I've just woken up. Hit just hit to do the auto refarm thing, which then of course I did it once, and then I had all fucking spellcasters, so I missed out on 20,000 XP for each of them, because they couldn't kill the fucking metal man of war thing.
That's why I
Yep. I always use skip tickets on it.
On the XP.
Yep.
I used my skip tickets on the EX fights for the weapons and the Madisagora farming for his crystals. Yeah. Maldragora or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I was
out of skip tickets after that. Pretty
I
much.
was able to auto one of those. That was crazy. I was able to auto the spellcaster one, but the dragon one was like nowhere near.
Yeah, I just got the full clear for both and just used tickets because it was like I knew I had to do at least farming some mats. So a lot of the other times I was farming mats and I didn't need the skip tickets for those. So I had enough skip tickets kind of between the amount of stam I had left over to do the farming for Maldragora, just like that, I guess.
Yeah, I did auto and I did skip tickets I usually use my skip tickets just depending on how my day is going and how much time I have left until reset.
I'll do it for my viewers because sometimes I'm like on a stage and I don't think they want to see me sit there for farming all day. It's like JP got But we're back on the crunch, huh? So we get a 6-day lead on top of also having overlap.
I don't think we've ever gotten off the crunch.
The
last one wasn't as bad.
Overlap, because some events have had major events with overlap. We didn't have that overlap, and the event was only shortened by like 3 days. So they got like 33 or something. We got 30. So not only was it a longer event, and then we had less shortened, but this is a shorter event, and we've had even more taken off.
Which sucks, because you know how hard it was to farm those figs? And this probably has a similar drop rate if I had to take a guess, so we're not going to get half of what we got for that. On top of, no one saved any stamina herbs for this one, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, like...
A little bit.
Well, a little bit, but not quite as much as they did for the figs. Yeah. So.
I remember, after the first 3 days, people were saying how many figs they had, I had like 27, and people were saying they had like 40 and 50. I had horrible RNG for like first 3 days.
Overall, after farming everything and going hard on everything, I think I had like 132 figs spent total, or 133. I can't remember. I think it was 132.
I had about 140.
140. The game volume here.
I use a lot of extra stam, but my drop rate's like horrible. Like overall.
Exist asks, is the chat broken? So I've just let him know that you just hate your fans.
Oh, okay. Looks like the chat might be broken. Let me crash YouTube. There's 2 people here. You know the routine. I've done this.
I don't think he sees it.
You know the routine. I've done this many times before. I'm gonna crash YouTube. Don't run away. I'll be right back. I'll just hit resume.
Just trying to make him feel better. Half the crunch, but gave us a
there we go.
Stamina grind that felt like developing.
Oh no! Skull left.
I don't understand what this person's
saying. Good morning,
saying.
Teku. His chat. There we go. Pack hates his fans. Free to speak your mind. I don't think he sees it. Now I do. Well, he can't see. Pack is actually not that. Okay. Alright. Let me see all the chats I missed.
Yeah, I will be fully upfront with this. I, in a way, am happy that the event is shorter because I like having new content and everything come pretty regularly, and I felt like the pace of getting 1 week off each time is actually good. But I understand that there's a lot of people that don't feel that way.
So guys,
Just
it's
fair
either
enough.
watch me or apparently it's watch Chase because he's live too. So those are your options.
So,
If
did
you guys
JP get like a
like
couple
Chase,
days of like no events and no
it's like
campaigns between events?
So what's happened for us instead is that we just have our events usually shortened, and then we usually have some overlap.
Right.
So, for example, they will have like they started 196 days ahead of us, and then they'll have like, hey, here's a seasonal event, and it will go for 2 weeks, and then that's literally the only event that goes on. Whereas with us, they'll usually be, hey, you've got a major event, but we're going to put a seasonal event in during this as well. And so that way, even if we have 2 weeks for it, we still end up, catching up because ours is put in between other things. Especially when we had 3 seasonal events at once and a major event. So that was a way for them to like jump up quite a bit of time. Then after that, every single time they've usually, like, was it Dragon Quest 11 to 9? We had like 3 days of overlap or something like that, and our event was 4 days shorter. So they do things to make up the whole week. And then for that bit when Masquerader dropped, Japan had 2 weeks of all this like bonus stuff to farm, and we only had 1. And so, they had it where they were like, cool, we've got all this time to catch up on other units or farm this Masquerader, etc., etc., whereas for us, we didn't have that. And that sort of crunch is one that I think definitely gets felt.
I just wish they gave us stand and skip tickets.
Yeah, go. Like, they've done a little bit, but it's a drop in the ocean compared to sort of how much faster it's gone.
I mean, yeah, it's almost 100, that, like, if someone was doing 8 refreshes, like, every day, like, it's almost 100,000 stam. If they did 4 refreshes, it's like 60, and no refreshes, it's like 40.
It's a lot, yeah. And if you're doing no refreshes, then you're making up a lot of gems as well over that time.
40,000 stamina. Well, then that's all the mats, all the gold, all the irises, all the whatever that we're farming,
It's annoying as well, this dream stuff, the special missions. Because I'm like, oh cool, I'm just going to get the A units and that, and this is like, hey, recruit all these other shit units like a certain amount of times. I'm like, fucking why? I didn't want to do that, I just want to get Masquerader.
I just get shit units to awaken to, and that's it. Like, I'll do awaken to, like, and that's it.
Stage 5 times, clear stage 10 times. Hopefully they keep doing that, because like that way, if we're getting like an extra 100 stam a day and stuff like that, that still at least helps somewhat. But I don't know if JP got this at the same time as well. They may well have. So I'm not going to praise them yet for doing that for us.
Yeah, it's not gonna be made up. I mean, you could try doing 20 refreshes a day.
What I mean though is if JP also got that, then it's like it's not even taking us anywhere closer to parity. It's literally just giving us the same. Like, I remember Chase on the Feeding the Trolls podcast was saying like, oh well, it was nice when they gave us like that bunch of extra stuff randomly for this end of autumn campaign, but or end of spring, or I can't even remember what they had it as, but literally we got it a day or so after JP did. It was literally a bonus given to both, so it wasn't even like, here's extra because you guys have got, such a catch-up. But I don't think it would take, like, necessarily getting us to parity for people to be happy, but for people to go, okay, we've lost a lot of stuff and everything here, you're actually giving us a considerable amount, so therefore we're not in a position where we feel like we're really majorly disadvantaged from them. At the same point, like, I'm fully admitting that I'm just arguing for stuff that will not just benefit me but other people, but I don't need any of this. Like, I'm actually quite happy with the pace of events and everything like that because it keeps me from getting bored. But I'm also aware that I'm sort of atypical with that.
I mean, just think of 40,000 stamina for a free-to-play account.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot to lose.
Just pack. How much more gold would you have, with 40,000 stamina?
A lot. I mean, I would.
Passport as well, aren't you?
On top of which, think about it this way: like, I would be doing a lot more of the weekend gold quest instead of the event, because I feel like I skip the weekend gold because I have to farm the event because it's so short, So I would have a lot more gold. A lot more gold. It wouldn't just be the dailies. It would. I'd be fine.
Exist at some point will get caught up. They'll be at the same pace as JP. Yeah, well, if they keep going this, so the time that will make up from this event will take us to 97 days behind them. So that's a bit under 14 weeks. So essentially, if they do this for 14 more events, we'd be ahead of Japan. So obviously, it's going to start before then.
Here's the rub, though. Why do they want catching up to JP? You know?
I think Marco's got it pretty spelled out well, where it's like he's put a picture of someone's like, is anyone else stoked for Murdor? And he's got this stuff and that, and someone writes, I'd be more interested if I didn't know Erdrick and Zenlong were going to arrive soon. Thus no gem pools, tickets and tack points, ahoy though. Because they can put a unit that looks good, can solve something, and someone else goes, well, JP's getting this, even more broken unit, so I'm just going to save everything and just get heaps of copies of that.
So it's just for money purposes?
Yeah, that's 100% what it would be.
There's also, they could have had us, rather than be 6 months behind them on start, could have been a year behind, and then everything would have just lined up properly. But again, it would have had that issue of knowing things ahead of time. Sure, some of the other games, they don't really mind that people know ahead of time.
Yep.
I mean, just look at just look at the new game with Octopath Traveler. That one was even newer than DQT was, and they didn't decide to, let's make this.
They're the same company too.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Octopath Traveler started first in Japan. I don't know, but I don't know if they have. They're doing. I think. They're doing the Alchemist series, the Brotherhood, Full Metal Alchemist, something like that. They're doing a gacha for that one. Square is. And they announced it for Japan, which means that they're already planning on doing the Japanese one, and they won't have a global release following closely behind it, like 2 weeks behind for translation or whatever it is. They're just going to do it like a year later or 2 years later, who knows. But, so I don't know. Yeah, is it more money? Maybe, but I really don't know. I think they are obsessive about landing certain things on anniversaries, landing certain things on holidays. Christmas has to be on Christmas. It can't possibly be in summer. It's like, okay, why did you start this game 6 months behind? That's exactly what would happen. That's not our fault, It doesn't make sense. I mean, they could have done a better job. Just done this from the get-go.
Or they could, even if they just went, hey guys, each event we're going to catch a week till this point, here's the end date of the crunch, and then you'll be caught up with Japan. And even though it might only be your 2-year anniversary of getting the game, we're going to give you the 2.5-year anniversary content, because we're going to basically treat you as if the game's been going that long. And yes, we understand that this will make things feel a bit faster paced and a bit of a problem. Here's some extra bonuses while we go through that crunch. Here's some extra stamina refresh per day. Here's some extra gems for, global as, part of a catch-up thing. You just have that log in as a, here's a bonus. Or just, do it where they give out awards. So every week just be like, here's a bunch of extra, stamina stuff. Here's some extra tickets.
I mean, if they really want
stuff for a few extra pulls or something.
And if they really want our money, and if they really want people to, buy into the passport, they could give that extra stuff to the passport. They could just throw extra stuff in there.
Yep.
I mean, if it's just $5, it'd be like, hey, if you want this extra stuff, pay $5 a month. Which I think it would just make the passport better, and people would just want to buy it anyway.
It would. The counter to that, though, is what happened. A, for the people that go, I don't want to be bullied into paying for something. And B, when it catches up, then what happens? Do they keep giving that bonus to everyone?
I'm sorry, it's $5, and they can change it if they want to. If they just came out and said, hey, to help with this, we're gonna buff this up, and when you guys are, if they just said it and took it away, or they could just keep it there. They could keep it there and
the issue is not so much that it's only $5, which would be $5 a month for things, and yes, that's not a huge amount in terms of, I guess, people spending here, but if people are already pissed off about, sort of a problem that the devs have caused because they want to catch up, I don't think a lot of people won't be happy with a solution where it's like, pay us to fix this problem that we've solved. I think it's. I don't think it's the actual, sort of amount of money so much. It's more the principle of it.
I get the principle, but I mean,
Yeah. But
that's
yes,
fine.
it's very fair. Like it's not a lot of
Yeah.
money for something, and then you're getting value out of it, etc. For people like me who don't really care about the crunch, like I'm paying for passport anyway now, but it'd be a nice additional bonus. I think it would result in a bit of a backlash, at least initially. But it is a solution, and it's better than offering nothing.
I just feel like, with video games, when, devs, companies are like, here's this $5 thing, here's this $10 thing per month. It's just like, if you can't spend $5, $10 per month on something, then why are you even playing this game? First of all, don't bitch about $5 or $10 a month.
Especially in a free-to-play game.
I don't know. That's just my take on it. I feel like it's not worth the bitch. It's just, okay, I'm gonna throw the money at you and I'm gonna get extra stuff. Because it's not like they're saying, hey, you have to buy like an 80 pack every month to get this, Yep. So.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
There's lots of things they could do, and they're just not doing it, and that's the issue. That's the issue.
I mean, they seem to have got bullied into giving us 10 stamina herbs once.
That's funny.
That? Like, here's the global version. From the last event, it was just like, global version, we're giving you an extra, and I think, they
Extra
did the
500
before
stam.
They just went and gave us a one-off, 10 stamina herbs and a couple of things, maybe some skip tickets. They gave us a tiny amount. But then, last event they specifically spelled out in the event notices, like, global exclusive, we're giving you 10 extra stamina. People are like, it's 500. Like, that's like just over a day's worth of like natural stamina refresh. It was like a day and a quarter.
It's less than 1%.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, that's nothing compared to what was done. Like, so that was the kind of thing where they made a solution, and all it did to highlight to people is just how bad it sort of missed.
Yep. I mean, they could do that weekly. That'd be nice. Weekly.
Yeah, exactly. If they just went, hey, until catch up, we've got this, recurring thing and stuff like that, then that lands a lot better than, here's a once off and we're done. And it's like, oh wow, they're still angry. Why is that? It's like, because people feel like, if you've been shortchanged $100 and someone goes, here's 50 cents, we'll call it even. Like,
you know what it felt like? It felt like I forget the queen. Some queen that just said, let him eat cake. Here's 100 stamp. Felt like that.
Mary Antoinette.
That was Louis XVI's wife, right?
I don't know enough about the history.
But the quote is attributed to her, but
it's fake.
It's fake, but it's attributed to her. But yeah. But that we know what you meant. So.
Yeah. But the whole point of it, exactly.
Because it's the shock value. Like, look what this aristocrat said. It's like, okay. Sure.
No, we're not used to in America.
I was going to say, it's fake news has been going on for a lot longer than modern social media.
You don't say. You mean lying is a thing that has existed for a long time? Oh my goodness.
You want to know the sad part? They're not even trying to hide it anymore.
Did they ever?
Like, a lot of places don't need to. Yeah, they just go, here, I'm going to put something that's sort of charged that makes people angry, and then people be like, here's X politician I don't like, therefore they're scum, look at what they've done.
It just confirms their biases, They're not going to go against it.
Yeah, I'm no fan of Trump, but there's been plenty of left-wing, things that I follow or see where I've gone like, well, I guess it's time to unfollow this, because they start posting like, oh my god, he said this disgusting thing, blah blah, and it's like, okay.
Exist got the Murdoch on shop tickets. Nice.
He never said that in this. Like, this is rubbish. But the problem is that if you are interested in finding out whether someone said something at some point, like a lot of people aren't going to watch like a 2-hour video or something and be like, okay, wait, that was never in there. They're just going to go, oh my god, he said it at this place or something.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes that, it's that easy to spread misinformation, whereas if you want to actually find out whether something's accurate or not, the amount of research and stuff you have to do is often just, prohibitive.
If you want to see how short people's attention span is, just look at TikTok. So that's all they have to cover for is just that length of time. People aren't going to watch a 2-hour video to uncover the truth or whatever. It's not.
Unless you spend your time playing like turn-based video games and want something on at the same time to watch, so you don't get too bored.
Or you have something like a podcast and you're like a trucker or some sort of gig kind of worker in your car.
Yep.
I used to what was it? I used to apprentice for my uncle who was a tailor. And that's all he would have some political radio always on in his shop as he was working. And I was just like, "Oh god. This is why he's so nutty sometimes. He's quoting these guys." I couldn't I put up with it just for him too. I put up with it. But one time he was like asking my opinion on the thing, and it's like, because at a certain point I was hiding my opinion because it was so fake. It was so obvious. It was so obvious, and then he was trying to present the things to me constantly, and even just not objecting to them wasn't enough. I had to agree with them at a certain point. I had to voice my opinion, be like, yeah, you're right. That's cool, and I wasn't about to lie. So I was just his wife was like, hey, you're causing my husband's blood pressure to go up. You can't work here anymore. She's nice. We're good. We're close. It's a bad translation, but that's basically what happened. Apparently, me not just like absolutely agreeing with whatever he was listening to or whatever was enough to raise his blood pressure.
Yeah, I've met a few people like that. They're just, I believe all these strange delusional things, and if you don't just outright agree with me with things, you're one of the enemy, and it's causing me like mental duress or something.
It was funny. He showed me a preacher because he's Christian like me, but he was showing me this preacher or whatever, and he's like playing the video. It's like the first 5 minutes. He was talking about not being dogmatic, not being with your Christianity, not being this and that, like overbearing, and because it does people the wrong way. And then it's funny, when he finally got over that part, which basically describes my uncle to a T, he started on a different topic, and then my uncle turned to me and was like, listen to this. I'm like, this part was the important part. And I'm just like, what about that first 5 minutes? Like in my head, I didn't say that, but it's like what about the first 5 minutes? You really could use some of that. It was so ironic because the part he didn't care about was like the most important part. I don't know. The guy is he's a meme. Kind of like how Nib was a meme.
You know what's funny?
A living meme.
I have a friend that he's Christian and super right wing, and he believes that we don't actually have free will. I'm just like, did you read the Bible? Like, you're like super devout Christian and you believe that we don't have free will. How does it work? And he just thinks that, I couldn't even explain, like,
that we're all just agents of God, and he's...
Well, yeah, it's the Calvinist versus like the Arminian kind of viewpoint, isn't it? With the predestination versus like free will.
I don't know. It's just...
I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Arminian and Calvinist kind of thought, but
it's... Yeah, there's a lot of very interesting theological debates about free will and what counts, etc., and how much interference God could actually, have, and we still have the choice and stuff like that. Lots of very interesting arguments, but the whole idea of we just don't have free will, and that it's like I agree with you. That very much defeats the whole purpose of Christian mythology.
It does. It's. I mean, I'll say, you know, Christian, just in general, like, people who are Christian are the biggest hypocrites because more people have been killed in the name of God than anything else.
Well, I think a lot of people just end up saying they believe in something or liking something that makes them fit in with a crowd, but also makes them better than another crowd, and so it becomes justification. You know, we're from X country, so therefore we have the right to invade or kill people from other country. We're from this religion, so therefore, like, to me, it's all like, whether it's, you know, Christianity or nationalism or, you know, whatever, it's all sort of the same thing, just under a different excuse.
Our biology is the same, you know, our darker tendencies are the same. Humans, the way we group together and get tribal is always going to be the same. It doesn't, it's going to be the same. It doesn't matter.
Well,
I mean, if they followed Christianity's tenets, they wouldn't go around killing people and trying to just, I guess, subjugate them.
yeah,
So.
and it's not just Christianity too. I mean, how many different religions have there been, and you know, people are killed in the name of their God? I mean, been all throughout time. All
Sure.
throughout time, it's happened. You know.
Yeah.
So it's quite literally insane, and I mean, I think that's why. I don't know when it was put into effect, but like the whole separation of church and state. But I mean,
from the inception of America, it was because they realized of how much problems it could cause.
Yeah, but I mean, it's it's causing problems, and it's not even about, like, for the people running it now, like for like the Republican side. I'm sorry, like, it's not even about the Christianity or the Bible or their beliefs anymore. It's just about money. It's about money, power, race, and all that, and they're just using, you know, they're just using the Christianity ideologies to get votes to hold that power. Yep. So, yep, there's that.
Three of the new event units already.
Mm-hmm.
You do any pulls yet?
No, I'm trying to.
Let's
see.
I just did the paid banner.
You don't want to have to re-clear this one. That would be annoying.
How much in US dollars does it cost you for a paid banner? 20?
Paid banner?
Less? Yeah, because I know it's
25.
Like, hey, you have to buy this and buy a certain amount. Okay.
25, isn't it? Something like that.
So, let's say it's $25, and you have like a 23.33% chance of getting the banner unit. Like, that's sort of like spending $100 US is what you'd expect to spend to have not quite a guarantee, but like close to it of getting the particular S unit you want. Well, you know, you still get some other, you know, tickets or things you can reuse for stuff later. Like, there's still, you know, a bit more value to it. Like, that to me just seems nuts.
Well, just imagine for a second if the paid banner was 100%. You got it. How many people would actually? How many people would actually do it?
A lot more.
Yep.
But then there's, they probably worked out that doing it with RNG ends up with them overall getting more money. I just don't know. My brain is not wired in a way. I look at that and just go, it doesn't make sense to me, but people do it.
So here's the thing. If most people are free to play, right, which assume most people are, or at least, you know, most people are very close to free to play. Like, maybe they'll do the, you know, maybe they'll spend on like an anniversary. Maybe they'll spend for like the special tech card, or maybe they'll spend for the passport.
Yep.
So let's just say like 80% of the people are mostly free to play. I mean, if 80% actually, like, I mean, it's not going to happen every banner, right? Too, like, you know, it's going to happen on meta units and units that they like.
Yep.
I feel like they would make way more fucking money if they did it.
What do you call that term in economics where the price meets demand?
Equilibrium.
No, that's outside of economics. That's what it would normally be called. But there's the supply meets demand in the middle. That optimal.
The game is already set up to where, like, people who are going to spend on the paid banner, they're already doing it anyway, and they're
not going to change it to make it fairer.
I just feel like they get more money in general. They would.
Yep.
Because it's a one-time thing, and you know, it actually might encourage people to spend more, or maybe, hey, you know, I'll buy the once a month let's say like, you know, once a month they'll buy the big pack, and they'll use that, you know, 10,000-11,000 gems that they get, and they'll do the pay banner. They'll get the one, and then maybe they'll do 2 more pulls. You know, and if they don't get an awakening, they don't get an awakening. But you know, but everyone's a greedy motherfucker. So.
Yeah, I remember when Gears 4 came out, they had loot boxes in that for the first time, and then they'd have skins that were, you know, supporting esports. And in this game, the skins that you had didn't give you any in-game advantage or anything like that. It was literally just, hey, these look cool. And you'd buy these loot boxes, and they had a chance to have not only the skin you want, but a skin full stop. Otherwise, it was just like weapon skins or stuff like that. And people are eating it up. Like, the people go like, oh my god, like, you know, people worked out the odds were something like, I can't remember exactly, but it might be $80 on average to get the skin that you want for this. And someone's like, yeah, I got it, and I only spent 40, and this is US dollars. And it's like, that's almost the price of the entire game again, just to get this one particular skin. And it shocked me. So there'd be people that would be on the forums talking about how shit the game was constantly and things like that, but as soon as one of these new things come out, they'd just be like, yeah, I just spent $40 on this, or I just spent $50 on this. And I'm like, I don't know. Just none of this sort of thing makes sense to me.
Maybe the game wouldn't be so shit if they'd only spent the $60 they spent and got a decent game.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I can understand if you like a game and go, like, I've gone with Path of Exile, for example. I really love the game, put over 1,000 hours into it, and I gave them $80 Australian. So I gave them about the amount that you'd pay for a, you know, full price game here and everything, because I felt like they really deserved my money, because of how much entertainment things I'd got from it. But I get, like, I'm atypical with this kind of stuff. And for a lot of people, it's just like, make it normal for them to keep spending, just like, you know, you'd go out and have a meal at a restaurant. It'd be similar to like, hey, you go and do a paid banner this week, or you do something like that.
I just want to say, Ghost, we don't use the term atypical. We use the term neurodivergent now.
Neurodivergent, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, thank you. All right,
Yep.
just making sure.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing I'd normally use, but I also wasn't aware whether that's the right audience to use that.
No. You definitely have to, and for you know, just make sure for further notice on the pack channel, because we're very clean and.
There's literally a show called Atypical.
Well, I like to.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's people that are neurodivergent on there.
My wife.
Oh my god.
I thought it was alright.
It was
I don't like most TV nowadays. There's way too much of just agendas going on. I'm like, can't we just make a show and not, like, can we just make a show and not make it about that?
No, they have the righteous path. They can't.
Yeah, my wife watched this show as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not possible, Hutch. They have the righteous agenda, and they have to let you know about it. So.
Well, here's the thing.
They have the truth. They hold the truth. They can't not share the truth.
They used to be able to make shows that would have political stuff in it, all that kind of stuff in it, and not make it about it.
Because it's
But
incidental,
now it's
maybe
they are
relevant to
just
the plot.
shoving down the throat, and like I don't really care either way. Like, believe your own opinion or whatever, but
I mean, some shows can throw political agendas down people's throats and have it very left wing, but people don't care because the show is good. And I'll direct everyone to watch The Boys if they don't believe such a thing can exist.
oh my god,
Yeah.
I love
Like, it's such a great show, but it also shows like how shit corporations are, how shit like, you know, looking up to celebrities is, and a lot of them are just, you know, garbage people.
But there's a lot of right-wing people saying that about, you know, celebrities, because a lot of them are left-wing, right? So it's almost hooking them in that way, but then they'll still say the left-wing political agenda anyway in the show. So it's kind of interesting that they kind of have that balance of
I
both.
think what The Boys
They
does
play
so
both
well
sides, so they always
is
come
that
out on
it's
top.
not just one side. It actually shows like just the shittiness of a lot of things.
But I mean, it doesn't show, like, say for example, it doesn't show Starlight in a shitty light. She's like the good, truthful person, whereas Homelander is just evil and manipulative. Like, it's very much pro left wing. It shows some different sides and things like that, but I mean, the main bit is that the left is good and that the right are just incredibly dumb, follow people's lies, and then think they're the ones following truth. But because it doesn't it doesn't come up and go like, here's everyone trans, here's trans, and everyone that's against trans is bad, and he doesn't spell things out like that and just sort of not have a narrative because it goes through that crap. People don't, I guess, realize how left-wing the show really is. Because it's a show first and then has all the political messaging second.
I remember one time I had to do a political theater as part of our classical styles of acting class. And political theater usually is, you know, you take a piece and you make it, again, political. It could be out on the street. That's the whole concept of it. So we reached this part in the class, and they're, you know, they're having us all do pieces from, like, I don't know, like a journal or an article from like a newspaper, and everyone has to make an improv kind of piece based on that. And we're outside in like the quad area of like this school, and I'm just like, like it's a campus, right? Like not high school, like a college campus. And I'm just like, okay, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing, like, I don't hold these views. I don't want to be attributed to any of these views. Like, if it was in a classroom and people got that it was a show and they're paying to see a show, I could say whatever I want off of, you know, my own words. I don't mind. But like the second that you try to make me do political theater outdoor, there's no context. I was like, no, I walked away. She gave me an F for that. It's like, okay, fine, do you? But you know, that I could have totally went to the dean with that, and like, I don't know. I just they're too overzealous sometimes. Over in the States, they're extremely overzealous. Like,
it's getting worse. I think there's going to be civil war in the next 20, 30 years.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure, but it's strange. Because the right-wing people have their enclaves, the left-wing people have their enclaves. I mean, the universities, it's a public, you know, campus for the, it's a community college. It's paid for by the, you know, the state, the taxpayer. They're supposed to be neutral or whatever. Federal funding there too and whatnot. Like, everything. But, you know, whenever someone like right wing or something comes to the campus, they'll send us an email. They're like, we just believe, you know, this person in no way or shape or form holds the views of the campus. And we're letting you know that they might show some offensive pictures, but, you know, that's their First Amendment privilege to be able to, you know, be on a public campus and do their thing. But we're just warning you that that's there. It's like, cool. When do we get the warning from like the far left dude that shows up to the campus as well?
Yeah, so
we don't. We don't. It's like, thank you for telling me about the far right nut job, but you didn't tell me about the far left nut job. Heck, you even started creeping into the average conservative. Like they'll warn us about like the average conservative view if it like someone's showing up to the campus to do a thing, and it's like, but that's like 50% of the country right there. Like, why are you warning us? Like, why? I don't need your protecting. I don't need your, you know, it's so bizarre. And I'm sure the right will do it too. Like, force meets force. Equal opposite reaction is there's a, you know.
Fighting super hard for it right now. I
And
mean,
they're gonna be the devil. Okay, well, if things are, if each side pushes hard enough, it'll keep everything in the middle, right? But all each side will see is they pushed, right? But their actions are to bring everything back to normalcy in their mind, right? Because they're far right, they're far left. They're trying to bring things back at zero. Whereas zero's actually way too far right, or zero's way too far left. But for them, that's neutral, right? So when they see that you're trying to push their push, they're like, see, you're doing the exact same thing that I thought you would do. And there's like this polarization of polarization. So when one side has to push, the other side has to push back, right? So, and all they see is the other side attacking them. They don't see that they instigated the situation sometimes where they started the pushing. All they see is the other side attack them. You know what I mean?
The problem is that most
Especially if
people
it's a
go into
giant
their own
group.
position as baseline, and so as soon as someone doesn't agree with them, like the example you brought up with someone being like, "Oh, you're not agreeing with me," and so therefore apparently this is causing them physical harm. Like people have this whole thing of like, all right, well, my position is the right one. If you disagree with me, you're wrong. Then it becomes a bit, and like the left is very guilty of this. Where it's like, you don't believe exactly how I believe, therefore, you're a bigot, you're a scumbag, you're all this, and it's just like, hurling insults at people isn't going to bring them to your way of thinking or have them want to listen to you. They're just going to think you're a lunatic. And this is why when you said you got confused about why I'd listen to people or things with different point of views, I mean, if I take the time to listen to them, even if I don't change their mind, I'm not solidifying that they are, right or things like that. Whereas if I attack them, like if I told Hutch, "Oh, you're a piece of shit for believing this," or stuff like that, he's not going to change his beliefs. He's just A, not going to talk to me, and B, be like, "Well, someone's attacking me. I must actually be correct."
That's exactly, yeah. They think they're correct because they're getting attacked. And then they have to defend themselves further,
Who go, all right, someone doesn't believe what I do, with trans people or stuff like that, so I'm going to attack them or tell them they're monsters. Like, to me, that's exactly the same mentality as someone who's religious and goes, this person doesn't share my religious beliefs, so I'm just going to scream at them how they're going to hell. Like, it's just, here is my beliefs, someone has something that's incompatible with it, so that gives me a right to hurl abuse at them. And, whether or not you even, think that that's, fair, which most people think is not, what's the outcome? What do you actually get out of doing that? Is it going to bring people to your side? If it's not, stop fucking doing it. It's not helpful.
Well, Ghost, I think, like, I'm a Christian, and, like, what I don't get about conservatives, the right-wing religious people, is, we have freedom of will, we have all these teachings, love thy neighbor and everything, and, you think that the right wing would rise above all this shit, but, in a sense where it's actually worse, because this is what we're supposed to believe in, and, they don't act that way at all.
Yeah, that's something I've always found sort of very confusing, where it's, say and this is the same with, I guess, people who are religious or vegans or things like that, is the stereotype that people always think of when these people are mentioned tend to be the, extreme ones, whereas there's people like you that are, reasonable, where you're like, yeah, I believe in free will, I don't, I'm not going to scream at every person I meet and, tell them they're going to hell, or, God hates fags, or some of the other stuff, like, there's someone in my home city that would just be in the center of the city at the main mall, and he'd be, holding signs and screaming up stuff about God hates fags or things like that. And I'm like, I just don't understand how you could be super religious and be like, yeah, Jesus, the one who famously preaches intolerance and hating people and screaming at people in the street.
I honestly feel like that same person that's screaming at people in the street could have easily been on the left-wing side doing the exact same thing. It doesn't matter who he joined up with. That's how he would have pushed it the same way.
Because you think he's got a predisposition to going, hey, I want to have a platform where I use that to just scream that someone else has a
if they're going to scream at, whatever they've... Because, okay, people, honestly, rather than dividing people by their viewpoint, you should divide them by, like... the means they use to get exactly how they conduct themselves, because it's like that's the important part. It's like it's you know, some people think that the ends justify the means, right? And for me, it's like, no, the ends are part of the means. Like the means are part of the end. That's the whole. Like it's a full package. You can't, you know, like sometimes it's the journey. You know, the journey is important. And
Journey
you know
before
the cheesy
destination.
thing at the end of an anime where they get there and they're like, oh, there was nothing special after all. It's like, no, but the journey was the whole point or something. You know, that kind of cheesy.
Well,
It
I
it
mean,
kind of it kind of is true sometimes though. So it's like,
I mean, that's the reason why I think like the religious leaders of this country and the Republicans that are in power, like, you know, the ones that are, you know, calling the shots, like, I don't think they actually care whether or not, they just care about money. I think that's their god. Like,
What's the guy's name? Kenneth someone, the oil person who also has a mega church.
oh, Kenneth Copeland.
That's the one, yeah.
I didn't know he has oil things.
Of course he does. Why wouldn't he?
Because he had that interview where someone's like, oh, money, you got it all from this and stuff like that. And he was like laughing and smiling and being like, yeah, what people don't realize is that, you know, my house on oil is at blah blah and stuff like that. He's just filthy rich, and he's just. I think some of it then is like he's got the money, but he also just wants the power, where he just feels like he's almost like a god unto himself, where he can, you know, just stand up, say a bunch of rubbish, and people all just keep giving him more money. People keep giving him adulation and everything.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, I've just looked at his Wikipedia page now. He's 85 years old. Spouses, married 1955, divorced 1958. Married 1958, divorced 1961. So he's on his third marriage, which is very interesting for someone who's that sort of religious and that.
Yeah, that's already... You're supposed to not, at least by biblical standards, supposed to not take a second wife if you've divorced. At least that's what Paul said, I think.
He claims to have destroyed COVID-19. I've seen videos of him, like...
Oh, the COVID-19 one? That's so funny, bro. Yeah. I blow the wind of God. Oh, my God. Yeah. I can't stand preachers like that. I just can't.
To be fair, I don't think a lot of people look and go, hey, this is the typical Christian, but there's certainly someone that takes advantage of them and is...
but the congregation, like, if you attack this preacher, they're gonna get defensive, and because that's their leader, you know, and that's...
Yep, you're
there's no way to reach them. It's already...
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
You'd be like, I don't know. You'd be gaslighting them, essentially, in their worldview and challenging everything.
You guys know the comedian George Carlin?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Dude, that guy is, like, insane. I love that guy. He is on point with so many things. Oh, and, like, when he talks about, like, the Ten Commandments and people like religion, it actually makes me question, like, is this shit just all made up by humans, like, way long ago? Because, I mean, when you think about just stories in general and mythology and lore, you know, things get lost in translation over time. Things also get changed in translation over time to deliberately, you know, change the way people think.
Yep.
And so let's just say the Earth has actually only been around for, you know, 5, 6, 7,000 years, you know, the Christianity belief.
Yep. Indigenous Australians didn't exist for as long as they apparently have. Same with China and things that weren't discovered.
Is that the Christian belief, though?
So let's just say that, and let's just say, you know, the Christianity God is real and everything, and the Bible is real, but it's been 6,000, 7,000 years, you know. What if humans over the years, non-religious ones, said, you know, this Bible thing is the best-selling book of all time, and also because it's storytelling, and storytelling is how you make money.
Oh,
I mean, we know this right now because of media. They could have fucking changed so much shit over the years. Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Like, it really makes me wonder. It makes me question. And that's not a bad thing, you know? Questioning and wondering is how we evolve. You know, it's until we find solutions to problems instead of just giving up or instead of just, doing the same thing. So it's crazy to think because, I mean, how many different versions are there of the Bible? And, I mean, you could ask the same question to 10 different theologians and they would give 10 different answers because they'll have 10 different versions or explanations of the same passage. What does this mean? What does this parable mean? And they could all give something different. And to not even think for a second that humans could have altered this in some way over thousands and thousands of years, it's stupid to not even believe that might be possible.
Yeah, so as far as the Christian, view of how the world was created, I don't think everyone believes like 5 or 6,000 years. Some people just do believe like, yes, okay,
Oh,
a
yeah.
day described in the Bible. Because if you look at the 7 days of creation, right, of Genesis, it's like, okay, day 1, something happened. Day 2, something happened. Day 3, something happened. It's the marker for time is always something happened. You never have a day where nothing happens. Even on the 7th day, it's described as rest.
Yeah.
So always it's marked by an action, not 10 actions, not 3 actions, just one, right? Like there's light, the heavens and the earth were formed. Well, that's kind of a dual thing, right? Like, or something. It's like, so I just see it as a marker of time. And there's passages where it's like, okay, a day's like 1,000 years, 1,000 years like a day for like paradise for God or whatever. So it doesn't, it doesn't mean what it means, I think.
Yep, and people could just be saying that stuff, to just confuse people as well. And, like, honestly, I don't care if the Earth or the universe has been around for millions and millions of years or if it's been around for only thousands of years. I don't really care. Like, I just know that I'm here. And either A, there was a Big Bang or something else, or it was created in 7 days. Like, I don't really care how it was created. Like, who the fuck cares? We're here. Like, make the most of it,
I'd say the same.
People just, people need to stop caring so much on so many details and just, we need to just, show more love, be more kind to people, because that's the only way that we as humans are actually going to survive, because otherwise we're just going to keep killing each other, which we're good at doing. We're good at doing that.
Yeah. So, Ghost, you remember the conversation we were having earlier? Is he still here?
Are you on mute, Ghost?
He's very quiet. He sounds distant. We'll just give him a minute. Maybe he's on the loo or the John.
My mic. Sorry.
Like I said.
Yep.
It's all good.
I don't know how long it's been muted for, but
oh my god, there's so much stuff to do in this event. Holy shit.
Yep.
Oh my
So
god.
you remember the conversation about the Facebook thing? Remember how I said I saw a video where this lady was giving like a butterfly a prosthetic wing. She just took like a feather or fake feather she found from like I don't know, like a Dollar Tree, some sort of like general store, like a really cheap general store. I don't know if you guys have those in your country.
Yeah, we have similar things, yeah.
There's a Dollar General everywhere. So, like 7-Eleven is everywhere in California? Just think Dollar General instead of 7-Eleven.
Yeah. So, basically, I wanted to say that, Yeah, the lady bought this prosthetic. Essentially, she made it into a prosthetic and gave it to this butterfly or whatever so it could live. Another person, posted like a spider, like an old spider. It couldn't spin its own web, so she collected cobwebs. And I couldn't help but like find the whole thing absurd and ridiculous and like and people are, like cheery and like uh posting like reactions to it where they're all like, "Oh, thank you for doing this," like or whatever. And someone posted a video about like a lion eating like a, I don't know, a zebra, and people are like, in the video they'll comment, go help it, what are you doing, go help it. And it's like that is I just find a lot of the Western world has a really huge disconnect with reality on that kind of stuff, like affluent societies especially.
Well, America doesn't know what reality is because we've talked about this pack. America, the people who run this country don't want us to know what reality is.
Possibly, yeah. But it was just funny. I don't know if Ghost is unmuted, but
Yeah, I should be unmuted.
yeah, good.
You're
Yep. Cool.
But yeah, so I found that hilarious because it's like that person probably drives to work and he probably ran over like 10 bugs on the way to work. So it's like I just find it absurd,
You know how
Oops, wrong
much
ability.
dead stuff I see on the road.
Your car hits like hundreds of, bugs a day. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. No, dude, I see dead armadillos, dead deer, dead squirrels, like dead rodents, dead possum, I see everything out here in Tennessee. Everything. Like even birds, like vultures, which, yeah, they're everywhere.
I just find the
I go a day without
whole
seeing
thing funny.
And it's sad, but I mean, what what are you gonna do? It's just gonna happen.
I don't know. I just find it hilarious. That's all.
Oh, yeah, it's because people are complete idiots.
Feels that way.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it?
But it's just weird because it's, I don't know, because I know you're vegan, right? So do you find like a lady taking care of like a butterfly she found on the ground absurd? Like that's like missing like a fourth of its wing, so she like replaces the wing with like a feather. Do you find that absurd, or is that like normal in your mind?
I mean, I think there's a lot of people that just want to do some good in the world. Whether that's actually going to help anything or not, I don't know. There's a lot of people that go, hey, I'm going to help animal, I'm going to give it, it's injured, I'm going to give it this food or this care, and they actually give it something that's bad for the animal because they're just dumb and don't think to look up this stuff, or they're just not equipped to, do things like I don't know. I've got a few different thoughts on that kind of stuff, but I mainly just try and look at it as people trying to be kind where they can.
So yeah, like I don't know about a butterfly because I guess you can help a butterfly, but I see videos all the time of
I just find it silly is all,
Yeah, I find videos all the time on Facebook of someone helped out this bird, someone helped out this whatever, and then the animal come back and visit, or I saw this one where this dude made friends with a bear because the dude saved the bear's life, and then the bear came back and brought her cubs with her to meet, the person that saved the bear's life.
But you don't know if that's true or not, so it's just
that. Yeah, you don't know that that's true, but I mean, it still sounds cool. I'm pretty sure stuff like that has definitely happened. You know.
I don't know, man. It's kind of fishy.
I mean, yeah, totally. It could
And
totally.
animals do, have the capacity to recognize someone and go, hey, this is
Yeah,
good, but
no,
there's also
that's
stories
true.
about
That's
people,
true, but
where
it's
animals
easy to
go, hey,
fake
Phil
these
may have
videos.
done this, and it's just clickbait to get them views and stuff like that as well.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
what I'm
hard to
thinking.
know.
Yeah.
I will tell you about a serve that I went to that had this squirrel sitting on a table. And I'm like, this is the strangest thing. Like, a squirrel's just sitting on, it's eating some nuts and it's not running away. Because, most animals, like, any human approaches for noise, they'll run away. And
until they get to know the person and go, hey, this person's not a threat, they feed me, in which case they start losing all fear of that person.
Yeah, so, like, and the squirrel wasn't even afraid of me. And, like, so I served this person. I go, hey, man, like, so you feed this squirrel? He goes, oh, yeah, like, he comes around, he will scratch on my door when he's hungry, and I'll go feed him nuts. I'm like, that's cool, Yeah. Like, they have a bond. So, like, I know it's a thing because, I mean, I've seen it, so it's just...
Yeah, we have lizards around Australia a lot often. Get to know the people around. They're sort of hesitant at first, then after a bit like, okay, this person's no threat, and then they'll come up to them for food and things.
Skink.
I've had birds take food out of my hands in Mexico at this
Kage?
resort.
Probably the weirdest one for me is just the amount of cats that will, like when I walk down the street, will recognise me and I've had them before, so they run and try and follow me on adventures. There's a black and white cat that he'll literally just run down and he'll be like, "Oh, where are we going?" And he'll walk alongside me like he's a dog without a lead. That's just super good. But he won't do that for a lot of other people. But he sort of knows and trusts me. Obviously, it's a more domesticated animal, but there's
I go up to a lot of homes where it's not the best looking home, Oh,
Yep.
I mean,
because it's in a black neighborhood?
no.
hey, it's fake nibs.
Oh, Kage. And, I mean, I have no idea what the situation is like, but this cat comes up to me and it's meowing, and following me in the car. I'm like, cat, like, I need to drive away, cat. Like, I understand, but I don't know what's going on. I can't just take you away, But clearly wants something. I don't know if it's just food. I don't know if it wants to be taken away. I don't know if it just wants some pets, But I mean, most cats will come up to me and
So what you're saying is it's used to seeing things being taken out of that household.
What the fuck does that even mean?
That was a brilliant jump, though. That was an expert.
And they're being taken away in an ambulance or something.
That was an expert level Kage. So what you're saying is right there. That was like beautifully done. I haven't seen it that complex and actually land yet from you.
Well, and there's a few different things it could be for them being taken away from the house to do with stereotypes.
Like child services,
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of layers there.
It was a very open-ended choose-your-own-adventure one, whereas normally it's very pointed out.
I've just learned with Kage to not just deny.
Not give it to him.
Not give it.
See, I haven't learned that with Pac yet. I keep trying to give it to him.
Yeah, just deny it. Those people exist, right, Hutch?
That was great.
No.
Let's see who's got stuff.
Why do you do this to me, Kage?
Do it to yourself.
No, you do it to me. I do not do it to myself.
You serve these people and you send them away for a long time.
I don't put anyone in jail. What are you talking about?
Send them to the place where they get put to jail?
No. I don't serve criminal papers. Process servers do not serve criminal papers.
Pretty sure they're all criminals. One of these men even hit you.
Okay, being late on a credit card does not make you a criminal.
I mean, if you're in debt eventually and don't pay it off, who knows what happens there?
Bankruptcy court doesn't
Yeah,
label you as a criminal, but it may
it's
put
fine.
a lot of restrictions on what you can do business-wise.
Yeah, so your
Oh,
your
so that's
personal
why you've
freedoms
never
would
been
go
hit,
away there
mainly.
too. So
Although if you do then ignore those restrictions or do things, then you could be criminally prosecuted.
So you basically
At least
serve
here.
people who can't afford child support, is what you're telling me.
I serve all kinds of people. Many different things, but no, I don't serve anything criminal. It's usually repo or sheriffs that serve those kinds of things.
Wouldn't you make
And
more
you-
money if you did that?
No idea, to be honest.
See, this is what you needed to be able to spend more money in this game, have a higher risk job.
My job is already high risk.
Oh, because of the people you serve.
No, it's because of the potential of you don't know what what you're walking into every single time you go up to someone's door.
Sure, you have a good idea when you look outside and the curtains are fucked up. You know,
Yeah.
you know what you're walking into.
Well, you don't
How
know
many mansions do you walk up to for Reverend Hutch?
in the Bay Area it was a lot more. Here, I mean, no, I definitely serve in all kinds of neighborhoods. I mean, I serve in gated communities too.
Well, yeah, you're allowed to go there because you're white.
No, I'm allowed to go there because the law says I can get in. Actually, the law says they have to let me in.
Yeah, that's why they hired you, because you're white.
Dude, there's all kinds of process servers of every race, Kage.
I only know this one white guy who does it, so that's 100% of the process servers I know.
Okay, Kage.
So 100% of the process servers I know are white.
So what you're saying is you're just ignorant.
Yes.
Yes, you Kage.
Yes, I am. But not as ignorant as Nibs.
And Kage
Yes.
knows, like, you just don't react to this shit. You don't then be like, how dare you say this? And go mental. You're just like, yep, cool, move on.
Yeah, I had to learn that with Kage pretty quick.
Nothing you learn is quick, Hutch. We've talked you off a ledge 5 months in a row.
I'm okay now.
We'll find out at the end of the month.
I'm good.
I'm like looking at my calendar, it's like, Hutch hasn't had an incident yet. What's today, 9/11?
Does that mean your wife's paranoid that he's going to leave again?
No.
I don't know if Hutch gets the whole paranoid reference.
Oh God, with him and his Filipino kid.
huh?
What?
What?
Huh? No, it's because Nibs yesterday on his thing was like saying like he liked you and he's like, but I like Lady Kage more. But then she's paranoid and got beaten as a kid, and it's just like, what? Where is this conversation going? Like it was just the most random.
Because he
sort of thing. It's
saw
just like,
me, he saw
Yeah.
me identifying all these illnesses, and he thought that was like a positive go.
He needs to say, I like this person more, and then start attributing illnesses to them. Like, he's a kind person that he likes Lady Kage, in spite of she's got all of these random problems.
I never said I
like
liked said person. I just said the
wait, what?
illnesses.
Yeah, she's a great person, but she got beaten around. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, why does that need to be said in there? Like, it's just...
Well, I mean, it was a 4-hour movie. We did watch Eternal Race List of the Spotless Mind.
That's... it was... So, yeah, some of the shit he came up with, it was just like... This is not how a conversation flows. It's like, did this go through Google Translate a few times, or... It was like, when you read things where, I don't know if any of you have seen this, but like, where people have posted jokes that their small child has written, and it's like, they sort of kind of get the idea of a joke, but they get the structure all wrong, and just put in a bunch of words that just don't make sense together, and like, some of the Nib stuff was just like that. It was just
completely incomprehensible from how he got from point A to B, and
You mean kind of like
was
the
funny.
shit that they like, the kid will say on TV and the parent goes kind of like that and explains it differently.
yeah, if you want, just search for kids tell jokes and just see bits, because someone, write an article and people submit their own ones from their kids, and you just look at that and go, this just doesn't make any sense. And it's like, it's very similar to listening like to people like Nibs justify certain things, or I think he was talking about like losing Kage and Lady Kage as friends, and he just went from saying he liked Kage to then he liked Lady Kage and liked her more and enjoyed talking with her, but she's paranoid and blah. And it's like, what? Like, it's just like this little subplot that had no explanation or anything. And
Is Lady Kage a paranoid person?
No, she's nothing like Nibs.
yeah, I just
Okay.
it was almost certainly projection with that kind of stuff, but it was just like
A lot of what he had was projection, because again, if you're socially illiterate and you can't read a room, and then he's over there saying people are socially illiterate and can't read a room because they don't know his suffering, It's like, no, I know you're suffering. I'm making my decision based on what everybody's suffering is, and trying to make sure everyone's is a little bit less than enough, So as far as facing Starfall is concerned, everyone has to take a little bit of a challenge, but I got to make sure it's enough to where we're all, whatever. So he's only considering his situation, and because he's not looking at the bigger picture, it looks like he's being slighted, but he's not. And if he was concerned and empathetic towards everybody in the group and was paying attention to everybody in the group and knew their boxes, etc., then he would have known that. But he was concerned about his own, like not.
just
He wanted to
himself.
look
Yeah.
good.
But I don't know if he was just concerned about it. That's his capacity. That's as much as he could, have, is just attention on
Well, it's
himself.
like when you said about him having that argument with Trop and him getting angry because Trop said, look, maybe it's just you. Because whenever anything would go wrong for Nibs, there always had to be some specific excuse pointed out. And he ignores the fact that literally every other person can have problems in life or their game, or, not everything, like, everyone's dominoes don't line up correctly every single time for everything they do. But it's almost like that's the way that Nib assumes the world is. And so when it didn't come for him, it was always extenuating circumstances, which is, I think, why it, it was exemplified in him getting angry, having to take harder people, and then going, well, I'm just going to sabotage and do the worst thing, because that way it was like him lashing out at what he considered unfair treatment to himself, because no one understood his particular circumstances.
Yeah.
Dude's an ass clown. I'm glad he's gone, even though he's probably still lingering around.
So what you're saying is you don't like ass clowns?
He likes tick clowns. He's always been a tick clown guy.
Yeah.
I just don't like clowns in general.
Oh, because they
Get the
scared you
fuck
as a
out of
child,
here.
or you had
Get
to
the
serve
fuck
one?
out of here, Hutch. Not kidding. You're not
No.
invited. No.
He had to serve Bozo the Clown once
I
he got
don't
molested.
understand the point of them at all.
I don't either. But I don't get the fear of them, but I don't get the point either. That's
So
true.
the point of them is to kidnap and molest children, right?
Okay, so obviously Kage's in tune with a darker part of the world that we have no idea about.
I just feel like
This seems like a weird
clown.
fantasy, Kage. Bit of
I've watched
projection
enough
there.
Law and Order
Yep.
SVU to see a clown do that, okay?
My wife loves that show.
But what you're saying is if anyone's interested in like creepy clowns as like a fetish, they should watch Law and Order.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
So
100%.
if we're taking everything we see from TV as gospel, I mean the movie night we had last night must have been, quite the ride then, with all the
Well, from
stories
what
that
I've
were.
learned, everybody in Washington is a psycho racist. Who says the N-word at least once an hour?
It's like, I'm not racist, blah, blah. It's like, well, you definitely are. It's just you may not be that particular racist. That's the difference.
I mean, he's definitely Papa John's CEO level of racist. Better ingredients, better N-words, Papa John's.
Yes, exists. That is him. Oh, we have a fifth person call in.
Oh, just Lady Kage.
We
Sup?
just group together before there's nothing but trouble coming, so.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go live here in a sec too.
Oh, well, you're gonna squash Pack's audience? What are you doing here?
I don't think anybody could squash Pack's audience, because that'd mean I'd just be squashing him.
Oh, God.
Literally, there's one watching right now, and it's probably just me.
That's fine. I mean, I'm not even going through the hard stuff
I
of
don't
the
even
event.
watch it. It's literally on a
It's just
second monitor. It's just sort of there, and then I get in the call, then I just ignore it for the rest of it.
You have to admit, it's more fun being part of Pack's stream than watching Pack's stream.
Oh yeah, people have fun with that
Sadly,
on
we
the
can't say that for
replays.
Tropical in any capacity.
Well, that's why no one jumps in on his.
That's why religion I had to go watch Trop, yeah. I don't think he's going to talk about anything interesting.
No.
No, well that's the thing. Like, the Twitch audience is bigger live. I've noticed that with Trop stream, but with the replay of the videos, it's very small. Like no one actually.
It's done. Nobody.
Like if it's not live anymore, no one watches a video on Twitch. If it's not live on YouTube, people will watch the replay. So overall, I get more views than he does, but he definitely gets a bigger live audience, despite having less followers than I do.
What you're saying is that he actually has real people that like him instead of just bots.
No, I don't think.
No, goodness. Have you
That's going a
seen?
little overboard.
Have you seen how many bots are on like just the average Twitch stream?
Yep.
It's just ridiculous.
Hey, come buy followers, blah blah. It's like,
And it doesn't even tell people to come follow them. They don't comment. They don't say anything. All you do is click on the screen to see who's viewing your video. And that's just that passive kind of advertisement. Just it being there. Enough people click on this channel, you know? Like, I could probably go right now and let's see how many are on Trop's channel. There's 14, right? Let's see how many bots are here. There's Chase Games, Total Bot, Dinomite, Total Bot, Element, Exist, Kirby. These are all bots. I just gotta tell you guys. Okay, most of these actually aren't. Hold on, let me see. This is a one-time. Yeah, this is a bot.
Noticed, but I spent 2k channel points in there to get his Zoma named Pack Demon.
Look at this. While I'm offline, and it says check out Polly. So check out a totally different channel while I'm offline, and they have 16k followers. They have no videos posted on their whole channel. Nothing. And this you'll see.
This guy does nothing.
And this Alice or whatever that account was will be watching like thousands and thousands of streams. Like I could click on any random stream right now, and this Alice Hydra is going to show up somewhere else. It's just going to be somewhere else, anywhere. You know, Apatho. Let's see this guy. Oh, okay, this might be a normal dude. So you usually get bots like that, basically. Dynamite. Dinomite. Yeah.
What campaigns do we got going on right now? Double recruit and what is that?
Look, he's asking. He's getting audience questions. Don't you guys want to ask me audience questions about the game instead of talking shop here? Drama shop.
I just like talking shit with you.
All right.
What's the campaign going on? It says double recruit, but then when I click on adventure, there's no, like, it doesn't say extra rewards anywhere.
It's part of the normal story. There's like some stuff you can get double recruit on. I think chapter 2 and 3. It's not very
And
clear.
even in extras in the bounty quest, you can get extra recruitment. So like on King Slime and Robin Hood or whatever the B rank one was.
Yeah, all of
You
them.
don't want to do that, but I'm just saying that's there as well.
I wouldn't fucking do that.
No, all the story parts have it except for part 1.
It says the
Oh,
double
even part
recruit,
1.
But it also says ×2 the amount of rewards attainable in this target stage. And then I go to adventure, and then doesn't show extra
Look.
rewards.
It's also double drops for the crystals as well.
That's
so
the
Gloria,
point.
For
Yeah.
example.
That's the whole point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, just look at all these. All of them have that. The only thing that doesn't is the hard story mode. That's it.
I gotcha.
Let me do
I
that.
see it.
Well, I still remember. Because I'm still going to do these 3 daily clears every time. I'm going to do 3 for the rainbow irises for, like, till the end of time, it seems, doesn't it?
Yep. When they had their fucking double campaign, I got nothing last week until the very last day, and I got 4.
I got 4 throughout it, too, so... That was technically just 2 drops. How long did they have that campaign going?
Because essentially the odds for everything are the same. You just double what the end outcome is.
Was the campaign 1 week or 2 weeks? How long was it?
10 days or
10
something.
days?
Jeez, I should have got like 3 drops in 10 days at least, you know? I only got 2.
I got 4 drops, and 1 was a double, so it was 10.
Well, they're all doubled. That was the whole
Oh,
point.
it's just so beautiful having these 2 monitors now, because I got one for the game, one I can watch chat on.
Nice.
Good shit. I'm actually gonna play another game while doing this.
Oh,
now.
my sister works for a tech company. She'd get
Well, you
monitors
have a
sent.
sister? Is she hotter than you?
So my
Is your
sister,
sister actually in a relationship right now?
which one?
Wait,
Well,
how
you have
many sisters do
multiple
you have?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2
Are they
sisters.
real, or is this you just in a week trying to fucking catfish me again?
I mean, it is something you could potentially do.
Yeah.
Let's not get that twisted.
Lady Kage will have to post a picture of my sister in the chat.
Which is just the gender bender version of you.
Oh,
What
damn
color-
it.
Was
what
she in
color
that
eyes?
picture when you were with Met?
Okay. Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, don't send that one. That's fine.
Wait, so
Um,
did Matt have sex with your sister?
I guess they don't all land.
Oh, so that actually happened. Never mind.
Whoa. I was gonna say, I thought he had sex with him.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, why would you say that that's not a landing there?
I said like the joke didn't land.
That was
It's not a joke if it's true, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was just asking a question.
Just factual information.
Anyway, but yeah, so I have 2 sisters, 2 brothers. Yeah.
Are the brothers hot?
So, are you the only one who can't get a partner of any kind?
Yeah.
I think
Do they all have the same color eyes as you?
You take a guess for that one.
Yeah,
I
sure.
assume through the Armenian things they probably do, which is disappointing because I really like green or blue eyes.
A lot of Armenians do have green or blue eyes.
I mean, I'm still yet to meet a hot Armenian, so.
Oof.
Damn.
Damn.
Yours is like, I'd rather bang some turkeys.
Otherwise, I'll find out the reason why I actually became vegan.
Oof.
Sorry if I've gone too far, Pack.
This is all gravy. It's good.
No, he's just recording, and then when he turns against me, he'll just post this for everyone and be like, "See, he's just vegan because he wants sex with animals."
Or he'll wait until.
I had an epiphany in that moment when I realized.
Out for cheap. He's like, just here's all the dirt that I've got on you. Also, here's this poor urchin that can't afford food or paid pools.
He has to hunt, defeat his village, let him and Trop live in.
Yeah, no, I had an epiphany, you know, and I kind of pulled out the recorder there. So that was that moment, basically, because when I heard that line about the, you know, the complex, the said complex, I was like, oh, I'm pulling out the phone. I'm pulling it out. That's.
What you're saying is that you basically still haven't made it as a content creator. People are more interested in watching Trop than they are of you, so you're going to have drama and things to get people interested.
I mean, I didn't even post that.
Yeah.
I didn't post that for my channel, did I? I let you guys listen to it.
You got a lot of people doing it, so then there's bars and talking in it, so then there's bits where people are like, oh, this is drama, this is, you know, this is a thing, and we want to know more, we got to do this, so I better follow
That's
back, so give us more
exactly how what was it? Nib formulated Ace's kind of conspiracy theory against us.
Yeah.
But like, there's like some master plan against him. Like, no, you're just an asshole.
Yeah,
because he's that important in everyone's life, and it's just like it became a self-fulfilling prophecy where he just did enough stupid shit and pissed enough people off where they were like, okay, you know what, now we are actually talking about you. And,
Oh, we are plotting your downfall.
Yep.
Well, that's how it always happens in his life, right? He probably has people talking about him. He's used to it. He just doesn't know the origin of it, but it has to be happening because that pretty much does. So.
I should have put the link to Reddit in here too to get that done.
Like, I'm sure every fiber of his being is always telling him that kind of stuff is going on. And he has to, like, try with all his willpower to not believe it. And he loses every time. That's probably how it goes down. I can imagine. I'm just trying to get a good weapon roll before pulling my ticket, but I may as well pull my tickets.
It's just so nice being able to do multiple things at once on this computer.
It's like me with my multiple phones here. I'm gonna go to Twitter and change my thumbnail to whatever they post.
Kage, you're watching porn.
Sure.
While working. And
While working, yeah, I'm jerking off while streaming and doing all this other stuff.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah,
Wow,
I know
wow.
what you're doing. Barely
Wow, wow, wow.
inconvenience.
Barely an inconvenience. Barely a rip. You're gonna have to ascend to a different level to be able to hutch me. Hutch.
Oh no, I'm not trying to.
Kage's been hanging out with Chase too much. I mean, he has been hanging out with Chase, so therefore he has too much. See, I don't know
You know,
what to
if
think
I
about.
had to choose between BDS and fucking Chase, I'll choose Chase because I'm fucking tired of this shit. Like, this whole, like, oh, I'm tired of people complaining. Like, people are allowed to complain. I mean, what? You want to be a gimp for Square Enix all your life, Marco? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I complain, but at the same point, I'm actually quite fine with pace being how it is, and I am very open with the fact that I am complaining and going, hey, here's what we're missing out on compared to JP, because I stand to personally benefit, as well as, I guess, other people that actually care. Yeah, it is weird, I guess, if people do simp for the game company and things. Corporations are not your friends. I think people need to be reminded of that constantly.
Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, at first, I just, okay, we were like good little Boy Scouts for what, a year and a half. We complained minimally, and what did it get us? It got us jack shit. And Octo over there, they complain for one misprint, and they get a fucking 5-star unit that's like the equivalent of a free S rank.
theirs is a lot bigger, though. Their game's a lot bigger. There's a bigger following there. Bigger player base.
Yeah, they've already overtaken us. Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't take much, either. Pretty much.
No, I don't know if they're making more money. Well, they are on Apple. They were making they made 400K last month on Apple.
Damn.
I don't know what they're doing on Android, but they're definitely making some.
Serious bank.
And the thing is, the game's not competitive at all. It's like you can still take your time, but motherfuckers will still drop 2,000-3,000 in just to be the first to get something done. It's like the Nibs effect. I gotta be the best. I gotta be the Pokemon master. Take all my fucking money.
It's amazing how much that happens. Like, there's a guy I know who's a professor that teaches economics, and he got sucked in by a mobile game because he really wanted to be the first to have this. And he said, by the end, like, this money had, spent $125 every time you push this button to, buy this thing, just became like, popping candy to him. Like, it was just nothing. And he thought he'd never be able to fall prey to that kind of stuff.
Oh, anybody can. I felt.
But then, yeah, he's just like, became like this, like push, this is good button. I get good things from it, this makes me feel good, and he dropped 6 or 7, and this, it's a game that not many people played or paid lots of money for, but for him, like, dropping $7 grand in a few months on this, and then he was like, cool, I'm the first to finish this game, and it's just like, I'd rather have that $7 grand, like, ugh.
It just really depends, like...
They wanted their participation trophy, and they couldn't get it without dropping $7 grand, so that's what it was.
I think part of it, he was then afraid if he didn't keep doing it, he wouldn't then get the first, and so it was like that sunk cost fallacy where it's like you've got this position, you are, sort of ahead of everyone else, and you need to maintain that position, otherwise you've lost out, you've done this for nothing.
And that could happen.
That's so
to
degrading
anybody,
because
like,
you know you're not good
who you
enough.
are.
You know you're not good enough without spending. So that's why you spend. But you don't admit to that, but you know on some level you know that.
I was just so
It's so
naturally good
degrading.
at this game and amazing, for everyone.
I was laughing in the background.
Yeah, I heard a lot. That's awesome.
I mean, I heard from someone from playing an online game called Castlot. I probably said it a couple times, but he said that, I don't really have any hobbies. My hobby is gaming. I don't go out drinking like most people. I don't.
Same.
I don't buy a lot of things. So he says, like, I just put the
Same.
money into the game, and I'm mostly the same way. I mean, I haven't put money into a game besides this game before this game came out in a long time.
Yep.
So I haven't even put my money into a lot of things. And
I mean,
I don't drink because I have Crohn's. It's just
Well, yeah, because you have the illness. I mean, so you don't drink, you don't have friends, you don't go out. So it's like, gotcha.
Yeah, so I may as well spend my money on a corporation that could shut the game down at any point, but then they're not making enough money for it. I guess that's one of the things that I worry about, is that people could put a lot of money, they go, hey, support the game, support this, blah, blah, this is great, and then that could get taken away from them at any point. It's not an asset like, yes, your house could get destroyed or a car get destroyed or things like that, but
But you have insurance for those things. There's no insurance.
You do, but insurance is not always great. Like, we had a storm here and it destroyed lots of stuff last October, and stuff finished getting fixed here a couple of months ago. There's so much damage in Australia at the moment that insurance companies are so far behind, so it's not perfect, but for the most part, it's like, you can get those things insured, and then you go, okay, cool, I have value from this. Like, I have my house paid off, I have money in my offset account, and that money, instead of being spent on a game, is then meaning that I don't have to pay as much on interest, so I pay off my home loan faster. But I look at those things and just go, I can't equate having a game be worth the same amount to me as, like, having my house, having stuff like paid off quicker, or being able to go on a holiday or stuff like that. But I'm not saying people are, like, just morons for doing things. I just think people should probably have a bit more of, like, this game could be shut down at any time or taken away from me, or I could have a problem, and someone who spends thousands on this, or, say, like 100,000 on Diablo Immortal or stuff like that, could have issues, and then they don't even get any proper tech support or anything, and basically get told, well, nah, it's your fault, it's your problem, or we don't have a solution for this.
Oh,
and
God.
that's it. There was a whale who spent 100k on Diablo Immortal and whaled himself so hard that he couldn't match with anyone in PvP.
It took like a week and a half for them to help him, if I remember correctly. Like, he was...
Yep, he got told to make a ticket. He made a ticket, got told to post on the forums, and he got no response and everything. So he just had to make all these, like, ranting stuff on social media, and then that's when he got noticed. And yeah, it took quite a bit of time, and I think it was him threatening to, claw back as much of the money as he could, which, good luck clawing back, like, that amount over several months.
Right, especially if you're also, like, a popular YouTuber, you'll have some eyes on you. It's like, yeah, you physically spent this money.
Yep.
I'll tell you, it's like,
Yep.
yeah.
I'll tell you a story that happened with that game, Castlot. It went to a different website. So it was on a certain website. Different website bought it. They're opening up a brand new server for it and everything. And there was a glitch with the website where when you bought gems in game, you got it was called like the equivalent. So there's like paid gems and free gems. So the equivalent was called like magic potions or but they were basically gems. But they couldn't be
Yeah,
spent
it's got
on
that equivalent, yep.
everything that, pay gems could be spent on. Well, there was a glitch where, like, you were only supposed to get, like, 10 to 15% extra magic potions, but you were getting the exact amount. So if you bought 10,000 pay gems, you're getting 10,000 magic pots.
These bonus, yeah. So instead of 15% bonus or whatever, it was 100% bonus. Yep.
And after like a week, they took all of them away, and people were pissed. People were pissed. And because a lot of people dropped money, and then they just took it away. And
Yep. They spent money thinking they would be getting a certain amount of value out of it, and then that was drastically reduced.
A lot of people quit. A lot of people, were sending him support messages saying, because some people bought it on PayPal, and since they bought it on PayPal, they could do chargebacks, they could file class action and that. So, and I'm assuming some new ownership or some new game dev came in and cleaned it all up. But I mean, the game almost died from, and they just took the game over on their website, but it almost died. But from then on, the player base, we had the power. We were like, we want this, we want that, we want this.
There's no reason to make complaints and do things, because again, people will stay quiet for majority of the year. I mean, the arena incident was pretty big. There was a couple other things, and I mean, we didn't get much out of the arena incident, but you've got people in that one guild who control most of the social media facets who are like, oh, don't complain, just be happy and take it. And like, there's something really wrong with Marco. Like, the guy's just really out there. He's got some serious trust issues, and I can say this because back when AW and BDS were having their big falling out, and the whole Hex thing happened, Marco's like initial reaction was to make sure that Pac was no longer a moderator on the Reddit as his like go-to to cut this guy out. And then later he's like, oh, I don't feel safe being on this Discord anymore with Pac, but he stays on the fucking hub Discord with Pac anyway. So I don't know, the guy's got some issues, and then what does he do? He like locks down his guild Discord as much as he can to make sure that his predators don't get told on or some shit. Weird dude.
Well, people who take shit is the reason why America is the way that it is right now. Because Americans been taking shit for who knows how long, and the way people are just thinking now, like, you can't take shit. And the only way things change is if you fight back.
Is if you follow then the false messiah that's like, I will be different, follow me, and I'm going to be good. I'm going to drain the swamp. I'm going to make everything better. I'm not going to be crap like them. I'm your friend.
The gaming corporation isn't going to care if you don't say anything for a year. We didn't get any like kudos. We didn't get anything extra for like limited amount of complaints or lack thereof. It just didn't happen. So I don't get it. Meanwhile, other games, if you complain and you get something out of it, great. If you don't, well, at least you tried, And for those other people who don't want to complain, they don't have to, but why do they have to, like, silence other people? Like, even Marco's like, oh, I'm tired of the complaining. Like, well, you're complaining about complainers. Fuck you. And I still don't get the whole...
I think this game is pretty fair to people and things like that, but I can fully understand if people go, look, here's the way I play the game, here's my circumstance, etc. I'm not having a good time with this. This is going too quick, or here, there's this bug or this problem that's not being addressed, and this is actually impacting my enjoyment of the game. Absolutely, they should be able to, voice their opinion for it. As long as they're not, like, messaging the community manager telling them, oi, yo, suck my dick.
Well, yeah, I mean, threatening the community manager is going to get you anywhere. He's the bottom rung of the ladder. I mean, the poor guy, I don't know how much he makes, but, he manages several different games for Square Enix. I mean, we're just one of probably like 3 or 4 he runs.
I mean, from what and again, different gaming companies may be different on stuff like that, but from like, stuff that's Microsoft, things, people who are community managers there, aren't on long-term contracts. They don't make a lot of fucking money, and it's basically like a stepping stone to, better positions. Where it's almost like an intern position where it's like, hey, if any problems go wrong, or people don't like something, they're going to, go to you first, hurl abuse at you and everything like that because of something we've done or messed up. And then, of course, the corporation's not just going to go, hey, you're the community manager. The people have passed on this suggestion. Oh, yeah, we're just going to implement and do this now. They don't have any fucking power at all. So they're just this, sort of go-between. And then that's why I disagreed with Chase.
And they take all the
thing
shit.
before. Yeah, he was like, I told him to do this, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, so you're basically hurling abuse at someone that's... this stuff is not his fault, nor can he really do anything about it. And it's like, he's our customer service representative. I'm like, no, he's not. The corporation pays his salary. He's there for the fucking corporation. He tries to help us and everything, and I genuinely believe that he's a decent person who is trying to, help, but he doesn't really have the power. It's the same with, like, HR at companies that are there to protect the company. They're not there to fucking protect the individual person.
I don't give a fuck about the individual person. I mean, they do to an extent as long as it doesn't cause any damage to the company.
Exactly. But if it becomes a person versus that, 100% they'll always be on the side of the company.
The thing I
Far
still
away.
don't get at this point is, the game's changing. It was a different atmosphere. They were on board with the JM thing for like all of 2.5 days, and then they like switched their tone on it. They rallied like free GM for like two or 3 days. They stuck with it. And then they like, well, man, we don't know how to complain. We need to go back to just pretending like nothing happens.
It's weird because that happens so much with boycotts, where people go, I'm not going to do this unless X demand is met, and then the company's like, well, we just wait this out for a week, and then that just goes away. And it's amazing how often that happens.
And it's because it's been done and done again and again and again, and somebody's like, well, let's just do it.
The best thing you could do is like a boycott. If you have like a good alternate solution that tastes better or works better as a product and they're more ethical, you could basically bury that company if you train people to have a pattern of behavior for another company instead.
Yep.
So.
The thing that I always say, for example, if someone goes from Dragon Quest Tactic and goes, alright, we're not playing this anymore, we're going to move to Octopath, that's better. Who benefits? Or, you don't, as in, there is no sort of net loss then for Square Enix, because they're making money from both. And essentially it's like, I don't like X, game or X company, and it's just like, well, how much is like aiming, how much of it's Square Enix, etc., etc., and then Square Enix still gets your money.
Yeah. What's up, Chase?
Howdy.
G'day. You were just being talked about.
Yeah, it's a Kage podcast, so I just assume that I'm usually being talked about.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. Well, technically I was in for PAX thing and that before. So Kage's just sort of jumped into his server, but the Pack on Air thing, so he's just sort of hijacked so that way he can use us as content as well.
Yeah, no, I just said like, I can't come in, and then I realized you can just do Discord on your phones. But...
Yeah, you can come in.
Oh my god, I'm so depressed. Dude, I was being stupid. I know that you can't use gems on these banners, and I fucking did it anyway, because I'm addicted.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I got like 2 Hell Gladiators and a pile of shit. Over like 6 or 7 Maltese, including the pulled, like I know it's like, oh, he's just being a baby because he just did it, but like, dude, this is the second time. This scouting system, why? It's so depressing. It shouldn't be so depressing to do Maltese.
On one hand, I'm like, we have all this information available, so it's kind of like, blame the user, but at the same point, yes, I agree with you, it's not a great system where you're like, well, if I do Maltese, this is not going to be rewarding at all, I'm going to have to wait for 48-hour banners, or for Erdrick, or, things like that.
Yeah, you can spend $200 on Maltese, get nothing, and like, dude, it's hard to, like, it's like, dude, I need to uninstall. I need to uninstall.
I actually wonder how many people do that with these sort of games where they go in, have a bit of fun, drop a ton of money, then don't get what they want, get upset and leave, and then come back a few months later, or something like that.
You're talking to the guy right here. He's
No. I'm not doing this as a dig at Chase or things like that. But I wonder how many people end up doing that. So these companies end up over time making a lot more money than if they were just like, here's a finished sort of $60 product.
well, they do sell the finished $60 product, but they also sell this product, so they have enough covering all those bases, getting
All the different ones.
yeah, different sources of money. Yeah.
Well, the reason I bring things up is like this game isn't really making money. I mean, sure, you can point it at making a couple $100,000 a month, but like, I know costs are some of it. It might be $20,000 a month or $100,000. I don't know. It's more than a lot of people think, and probably less than I think. But, dude, they're just so over the top. I'm just talking in circles. I've said it so many times, but like, I think they would make more money if they didn't make every aspect of the game punishingly brutal.
We were just talking about this. We were just talking about this.
He knows about this.
How much more money they would make if the paid banner was just a guaranteed.
Oh yeah, because you'd be crazy. And there's some. Where's the math work in there? Because you're losing money from whales, but you're getting like. Do you want a whale, or do you want a pool of minnows? Or whatever you call it, a group.
I mean, imagine if you could advertise this as, hey, look, here is a game where instead of having like the RNG, like let's imagine they keep the paid banner the same. Like I think someone said it was something like $25 US, and you get a guaranteed copy, and you can do that as many times as you want. So if you wanted 5 Awakenings, you could spend $150 US, and you'd get the initial unit and the 5 Awakenings. And people who go, wow, this game is fair, this is good. You advertise it like that. And then suddenly people go in, oh cool, the gameplay system's good. Oh cool, if I want to get a unit, I can. This is actually quite easy.
The player base would be vastly bigger if it was like that.
Yeah, I suspect it would.
I suspect they would have gotten thousands more bites on the 50 Scout if they actually did the one people and JP knew about. That I still don't get. That's like, hey, this is the best deal we're ever going to give you. Here's what JP got back in May. And okay, cool.
Here we're cutting off a few good units from it, and we've still got some shit units that were in the general pool for JP, and you're like, oh, okay. And then this is something where I'm going to go 100% against Malcolm for his response on this, where he was like, well, we didn't say we're not going to give you a better one later. And I'm like, how does that make any sense? Like, here, we're going to offer you something up. It's actually terrible.
I'll explain that. I could explain that.
You know that in future we may not have given you a better one.
I could explain that. So, essentially what he's saying is... Okay,
he doesn't know anything either.
No.
He's not,
But
he doesn't pay attention to JP.
But hear this out, right? Like, if we got... Because we got the 50 banner early, so it would land on, what, 1.5? So, the next one would be 2-year, and if we got 2-year, we would get that late.
We missed out on the waifu banner, we missed out on the hero banner. There's
but if we got...
banners that we haven't even got, as well as one that completely got nerfed. So
but,
anyway,
but if JP gets one on 2.5... If
it was for Golden Week. The Golden Week was their second. And then their first one was DQ Day, I believe.
The point is, if we get one on 2-year, instead of being early, it will be late compared to whatever JP gets.
And it will have the exact same unit pool.
No, it will have more. If it's late, do you remember our 48-hour banners had Jessica and Angelo on it?
That was like the first change they ever made.
But they had to do... We got the 48 late. That's why they made the change.
Yeah, but like they don't have a history of doing that. Just that.
Well, that's the thing. We got to pressure them because we got to be like, remember, 1.5, you said this, you're quoted as saying this. And then when they do bring the 2-year 50 pull banner around, they'll have to update it and have units like Malluminary and stuff like on it because it'll have to be updated for us, basically.
Well, here,
yeah, they just don't care though. I don't know if you guys think I'm...
They might do a 50 scout for 2.0. That's what I'm trying to say, is if they do one for 2.5 for Japan, we're definitely getting one for 2.0. If I don't know.
It's going to be a nerf version again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if we get our 48, look at the 48-hour banners. If we get that at 2-year, like they got it at 2-year as well, because that they had a 4-year, a 2-year 48-hour banner. They had one at 2-year that was 48 hours. So
They had 7 separate ones.
yeah, they even
pretty
had
decent. But anyway, keep going.
they had gem slime on that, like gem slime, super old units like that. So I'm pretty
So the
sure
next
that
time
they could
give us the
replace
50
that.
gold, it's going to be the one that they did for Golden Week, which
Look.
happened around now. So that will be the one that included Sorrow as the last unit.
Look, let me go to game 8 on my
but the
stream.
problem is that Malcolm's response on it was like, hey, the devs are confused because, you might get a better one later or something like that, so why did the community not consider this? And it was like, that's such a weird thing. It's sort of like going, hey, after you work for a company for 3 months, you get this sort of pay rise and everything, and then you work there for 4 or 5 months, don't get it. Or they give you a shittier pay rise that's not as good as what people normally get. And they're like, well, we might pay you properly later. We might give you something better. Did you ever consider that you should just take this deal now? Because, we might actually be, sort of fair to you in an upcoming time. And they're like, well, if you're treating me like garbage now, if you're not doing it properly now, why do I think you're going to do right by me at some later date where we can see, like, the, how you've treated other people? Like, it's not a parody.
Yeah, no, and on that note, I don't understand why other people say, like, well, based on Square's treatment of us in the past, like, we have every reason to believe that they're going to come through. Like, dude, what fucking game have you been playing?
They're a company. The company is not there for you.
No, they fucked us everywhere. It's just they're more upset about it. And by the way, I was going to say a minute ago, like, there's no reason to think that our saying anything is going to matter, because I don't know if you guys think I'm overreacting or not, but, like, that 2-week temper tantrum in main chord literally just dissipated as soon as an event came out. Like, everybody was just fucking back to being satiated as soon as there was a new content and banner.
Well, all I wanted...
Just knowing from Square Enix, like, come on, Square Enix is the king of melting content. Just look at Final Fantasy games, look at Kingdom Hearts games, look at the games that they make and how they milk every single penny that they can, because they know that they can, because they make spin-offs, they drag it out, they make episode 1, episode 2, DLC after DLC after DLC. They know how to do it.
They're not actually that good at that, though. Like, they do the stupidest shit. Why the fuck is Dragon Quest VIII in some form not on the Switch? We are literally begging to give them money for that. It's just a small example. That's not like one I'm obsessed with, but like,
Chase, just to make you feel bad, I got a CGM dupe on a 3K pull.
Nice.
All right, the rivalry's back, asshole.
He's like, fuck you.
Okay, but look. Okay. So Ghost, would you agree that, like, let's say every time they do a gotcha banner and it's
Your mic's cutting out, Pat.
Your mic's fucked. Do I agree to robotic voice and then just nothing? So I'm gonna have to have more information before I think of whether I should agree with you or not.
How about now?
Alright, go for it. What do you want me to agree or disagree with? And then I've got to go and make lunch because I'm fucking hungry.
So, with these value banners, 48-hour banners, the Gold Week banners, 50-unit banner, it's like a snapshot in time, like where we are as Global or as JP. So if they take that snapshot and the units that they could give us are said units, then they're going to have to give us said units. I mean, when I made my feedback to them, I was like, hey, give us this at a later date. I don't give a shit if it falls on 1.5 or doesn't fall on 1.5, because they want they want people to be hyped for the celebration of 1.5, that they have an anniversary for the game. But we just don't give a shit. We're like, just give us the good stuff. We don't care about when, like, we don't care about your holiday. We don't care about your celebration. We're not reverent to you. You know what I mean? So these banners are like a snapshot. Sometimes we get them early. Sometimes we get them late. If we get the value banners late,
get them at all. Like,
yeah, but you have to
every month before they had their fucking 50 pull thing. Like, they had that Hero Day banner where it was like, hey, give us 15k or whatever it was, and we'll then let you pull any of the male heroes you want. Hey, let's have a waifu banner. You know, they
We can't even,
started having
but think
all
of,
of these value ones, and we got none of them.
because
Like,
we
at all.
have less gems than JP did. So,
Pick the bride coming up for
well,
the DQ5 round.
Yep.
well,
And that only includes the brides. Like,
Th-
there's
th-
no
that's
other
because they
SKUs
got
in it.
bloomed. If they didn't get bloomed, that banner wouldn't have been given to us.
Yeah.
It would have
But
been just
we
like the
also
White
don't
Day
know whether
banner.
we're getting that banner or not. We assume we will, but
I
at the same
assume
point,
so.
it's
It
not
doesn't
good
make
for
sense.
them to do it because, you know, one, you get to pick a bride anyway from the event, and then if they encourage people to spend now, shortly before, you know, Erdrick's
I don't think
and
you'll
all those
get to
other ones that
pick a
people want,
bride a second time during that event because you already
you can.
you already
No,
used
we're
your
not
water.
gonna
It's
say pick a
reminiscence.
bride, I mean, from the banner, the end of the banner. You
Yeah,
pick
yeah,
your
yeah.
10K.
No, no, no.
When
Yeah.
he means
Go
pick a
use
bride,
these.
he means pick a husband for you, Pac.
So
Yes,
what?
which will
Well,
be
we
me,
missed
obviously,
White
not
Day,
pick myself.
so that's not gonna happen. We already skipped White Day. Anyway, but these are snapshots in time.
Racist.
So when you're saying that, whenever we get a banner early, yeah, we got it early. Getting it early is almost like a benefit, right? Because you're getting the value at any time. Like you could always say, I'm gonna wait until the next new powerful OP unit comes, and then I'm gonna pull. You know, you could always say that forever. And once when it comes around, you could be like, okay, I'm gonna save again, and you could have like 1,000,000 gems on your account, and then you finally spend them. And yes, you were right in that moment in time. You're right, but then 5 months down the line, it's not worth shit anymore or something. It doesn't matter. The point is, when we get this snapshot in time of these things, in aggregate, you have to look at these things in aggregate, right? Because if you want to rule out the good, I mean the bad, you also have to rule out the good. You know, if you're gonna toss out the 50 unit banner and be like, well, that was a terrible decision. Well, you got to toss out the 48-hour banner, including more units because it was late. You know, you can't.
You know what? They
But
did finally change the shop too. I got to walk back on that one. They
Which shop?
finally fixed the shop for global.
Which one?
The one without the tickets. They fixed it for us.
Where?
So that's a pretty big step in progress.
Where?
I gotta give them that.
Where was that?
They've never changed the shop before. The Mindini's hop thing that was supposed to have 10 EKM tickets, they took it out. They fixed it for global. They've literally never fixed a shop for global before. So that is me sincerely being appreciative.
Oh, okay.
See, that to me seems like weird because we had to fight and maybe we were going to get anyway, we don't know, but they also just took the tickets out. So essentially we got the same shop they got, except with less.
He's being.
Yeah, that was sarcasm on my part.
Oh, good. Yeah, sorry, that was too deadpan. I was like, what?
That I threw a confirmation question.
That's the only time they've ever changed a shop.
I suspected that's what you were trying to say. That's why I threw the confirmation question, and I was like, okay, that's the route he's going with that. But you know.
Yeah, no, that's literally the only time they've ever changed a shop. That's not an exaggeration.
All right, I'm gonna do my ticket polls then.
I
May as well.
Pack your point that if we get something early or later, and it only
That's
goes
why I
to
was trying to
a
tell
certain
them,
point,
give it to us later.
But JP also for their 51, well ahead of when we got it in our timeline, had got rid of some of those limited units and put them into the general pool. We still didn't have that yet. So that was another thing, just making the odds worse for people to get the kind of stuff they wanted, which they didn't have to deal with. And yeah, the fact that sort of every month Japan at that point, because I remember looking through this with someone that had the White Day, the waifu banner, the Valentine's Day thing. They had then that 50 pull, that the Golden Week thing or stuff like that. Every single month they were getting, here's a really good value banner that's so much better than other stuff, and we got literally none of those. Even 6 months later, we were still getting absolutely none of those. Apart from them, we got the 50 pull, and then we got one that was like incredibly nerfed, and not just because of the units that we weren't up to having into it, but also for the ones that they kept there that Japan had discarded. That's why that frustrated me. And then being told like, oh, well, you just might get something better later. Why would you not consider this? It's like, because we don't know what we're getting later necessarily, and we know that we've missed out on a heap of shit that Japan got, and we're going,
That's the sad thing. We don't.
Like bad things
There are banners that there are banners that they straight up skipped, and it's like, even if they gave it to us, we wouldn't be able to afford them. And my solution to that would be, give us enough to let us afford them. But that's probably why they're cutting.
Hey, here's these ones because of you being caught up or
missing stamina or stuff like that, here's like a package for it. Here's some of these extra tickets that you would have missed out on.
Here's the
Here's some
thing.
of this extra
We're
gold,
in the
here's this
loop.
extra
So
stamina.
if they did make that change for us, you would know, I would know, but people that aren't on the Discord, aren't on the the Reddit, they wouldn't know. So they would be like, oh,
That's
they
true.
get. So if they started getting all these free gems for a long course of time to get us caught up to JP, and once when we get
Yep.
caught up to JP, they cut that revenue essentially, that
Yep.
stream, and then these people that were not connected to this situation at all would be like, what the fuck happened to my free 1,000 gems a month or something or whatever it is? They're gonna flip out. And that's the problem. If they make us happy, they're gonna make.
Though, if they're not even noticing it to begin with.
They're not noticing the communication between us on and the general the community manager on Discord, but they are they can interact with it. Well, if they're touching,
They're not on Discord, and they're not like.
But they're on their game.
They're just playing the game.
They're playing the game. Yes, and that's the thing. If they're playing the game, they're gonna notice if they're getting like a free 10,000 gems or like a month or something, and if they're getting like 100 stamina herbs every month or something, they're gonna notice that. And if that's taken away,
I'm trying to say, like, people, like, if they're not on Discord a lot, if they're just playing the game, and if they're not that into the game, like,
those people know, but there are people that are into the game that aren't on the Discord.
Yes, so that's what I mean. So
Maybe.
Are they actually gonna, like?
Who knows? I don't know. Some might not. But the point is, there's a large portion of people that might not be well connected and just.
We forget how many, like, just to say it, like, I'll just be rude. I mean, it's accurate. Well, there's a lot of scrubs that play too. Like, there's a lot of people that if you saw how they play, you'd be like, are you a fucking? You can't do that. What are you doing? Like, we take this way too seriously, but like. The thing is,
most people, he's right. Most people just play games casually. They don't read notices. They don't really know what's going on. But those people still may notice if they suddenly start getting a lot less of these bonus and things in game. So
yeah,
I mean,
I understand that. I mean, it's like
there's a description when you collect the gems. There's always a description, like login bonus, something that like it'll say, like it could literally say catch up. Something or
yep. What you're saying, Hutch, sounds completely reasonable. But from working, sort of I guess adjacent to that industry with the gear stuff, people don't fucking read. You have it. People complain, go, we want in-game notices of stuff and blah blah and all this, and you're like, these are all there. Like you literally click on a button. Have in-game notices when you boot up the screen. They even had it for a while that it would appear up as a splash. People would just skip it, and then later complain that they weren't told about something. Or they got no notice, and it's like, we put this in your face, and you still got rid of it, and then didn't read it. Like, it's just... Until actually having to, I guess, deal with complaints on this kind of stuff, you would be, like, completely shocked at just how much people will not read, or go out of the way to not read, but they still complain.
Well, then there shouldn't be a problem, then. If they put it in-game, and even if they, like, complain or whatever, they can just say, hey, we put it in game. Like, we told you that it was going to happen for this amount of time, and then, once you get caught up, then it's go away. So...
Yep, that's a fair response.
So, I don't understand why that they can't do it.
Let's just put it this way. It's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They're smart enough to figure out something. If they can do an in-game announcement blaming JM about the deletion of his account, they could do an in-game announcement about why these gems are happening.
Exactly.
That's what baffles me is they were a successful business. They're hanging on as far as I know. But like, it feels like they actively choose not to make money with this game because they make so many mistakes. Just to like, it almost seems like they do it out of spite. I really can't imagine it being other way because there's so many better ideas to make more money. Instead, they're like, no, let's just force them to want to pay for everything. And that's why there's like, what? We're half the player base left, right? The 5 of us? Fuck.
You honestly know what I think it is just because I don't play too many games that like have a JP player base than have a global player base. It seems like a East Coast bias kind of thing, more of a JP bias kind of thing. Like, we're not going to take suggestions from global, from Americans. Screw them. Kind of seems like that.
Yep. I completely agree. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Is fuck
So
Western.
it's the only thing that makes sense to me too, because I know East Coast bias is a thing.
Oh yeah, no. Which here's the thing, like I'm used to Dokkan Battle. It's the same thing, 6 months apart. But like, all the JP players care about is getting things first, so they're happy. The global version is actually, I'm not exaggerating at all. It's superior. You generally get things 4, 5, 6 months later, but you get discounts and shit like that. It's the better version to play. But the JP players are happy because they get shit first. And yeah, with DQT, they seem just desperate to fuck the Western player base. Because that's the only thing that makes any sense, is that they just refuse to be considerate to us.
And the thing is, that mentality has been in JP, not just for Square, but for other games for years. And it's slowly starting to go away, because you'll notice, like, some companies are, who have had games in here, they've brought over, like, the Yakuza series is a good example. They had the earlier Yakuza games, we barely got any of them, and then they noticed that this market was actually pretty good and people wanted these games, and now they do, like, simulcast releases for the series.
Yeah, I agree with that, which is why it's so weird that they've just, they've taken it to an extreme with us, and it's like, I've said it like 8 times, but like, it doesn't make them money, so I don't know why.
We're getting a simultaneous release. That's the announcement for Dragon Quest 12 as well. But it's almost like some of these smaller or mobile developers or particular ones don't care about that sort of bigger picture and just focus on the whole. Like, we are JP developers first, and global is just an afterthought, or they should be happy with what they get.
I've got to say, mainline Dragon Quest still works. I'm not alone thinking that, like, pretty much everything Square Enix does is shit. Unless you were one of the 4 people that enjoyed Strangers of Paradise. I think Dragon Quest still has, like, maybe their own little NX team, and obviously they're in control of Dragon Quest Tact.
I took a look at that game, and I was on the fence about buying it. I was like, this looks interesting. It's a pretty cool game, and it just seemed like they tried to make it into a Diablo hybrid almost, where you didn't even have to do anything. You could just go for, like, the chest and then back out of the mission to get stronger. It just defeated the whole point of an RPG.
Well, that's why they ruined Final Fantasy. Everything is like, oh, let's try like this other game that works now. Kids don't like turn-based RPGs. I was like, well, that's what Final Fantasy fans like.
Turn-based RPGs is a fucking gold mine. They're amazing. They work. They work for a reason, and Final Fantasy 15's kind of sucked ass.
I mean, I was happy when I found out that the first Star Ocean game was on the premium for PlayStation. I'm playing that on the side now, because the new one's coming out next month.
I mean, I even enjoyed 12. I know a lot of people didn't enjoy Final Fantasy 12, but it was still, like, real-time turn-based, and it had, like, all the shit.
It was a take on turn-based.
Yeah. Like, like, it wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but it's still worth it.
There's different takes on turn-based, too, that can be fun, other than just, like, Final Fantasy 7. Like, time bars are lame, but, like, you ever play a Grandia game? Like, the action battle system in that, it's emulated by only a very few other games. I think it's fucking awesome. Like, having action bars and things like that. Not just, like, the ones that fill up, but, like, where you can interrupt actions and placement matters and stuff like. There's different things they can do. The Bravely Default thing. Like, you can make small twists on it, or, just. Dude, I don't really care about gameplay in Final Fantasy games when I was younger. I wanted a beautiful game with a pretty decent story, and I just clicked to get through it basically. I know that's probably a minority opinion, but like, I just want a AAA turn-based RPG.
Nebs isn't here for that.
I feel like Final Fantasy X for me is like, just, if you're making an RPG, use Final Fantasy X as the template.
Oh yeah.
Like, the sphere grid system alone, like, even if the gameplay was shit, like, even if the sphere grid system alone made that game. It's such a great level up system. And then they came out with the expert. They came out with the expert sphere grid, and that completely changed how you played the game, because you could level up certain characters differently. You could save some level key 1, 2 spheres. You could bring some people, you know, because what I would do, I would make Yuna a black mage, and then have her go back into the white mage. So she was this hybrid, and she was insane, and it made Lulu pointless. And
So what
it's
you're
I
saying
wanted to
is
do anyway.
she is a caramel mage.
You know what? You know, Final Fantasy X reminds me, and that's why it's so depressing that Square has just like shit the bed on everything that they've done for the last decade. Is that, dude? There are some decent JRPGs out there now, but they're all like low budget. Final Fantasy X, scaled up or remastered or whatever, looks better than 90% of games that come out now that are turn-based. You know, you can argue and stuff like I pissed off everybody on the Trails of Cold Steel servers because I'm like, wait, why does this game that came out last year look worse than Final Fantasy X? Like, these
Okay.
these low budget
Have you guys
RPGs, they
played
can be
Kingdom
fun,
Hearts
but
3? Because I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is absolute dog shit.
I actually didn't bother playing it. I don't know.
I got a couple hours into it. I think they went they wanted Sora to be childlike, but what they made was an autistic child with ADD.
No, I'm not even talking about the story. Like, I couldn't even follow the I couldn't even follow the story to begin with because I didn't bother to play all the side games because it was on Nintendo DS. Like, sorry, not gonna do that.
See,
I'm out. Have a good one.
See
Love
you
you
guys.
all.
And I don't know,
Especially Pac.
it was just easy. It was way too fucking easy. Like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, like they weren't like super hard, but they were challenging. And Kingdom Hearts 3 just felt like a cakewalk. Not to mention it didn't have a lot of gameplay. Didn't feel like there was a lot of end game like the first two had. It was just bad.
Was the story better in 1 and 2, or we were just young
Yes.
enough to think that obscure meant deep?
No, it was better.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it
the one
was
felt more effective.
better because there wasn't as many of these extra links like he mentioned. Like you needed
Yes.
to go cross platforms. For fuck's sakes, at one point they wanted you to play a mobile game to get some of the story for like 3 to, I guess, what's gonna be 4 eventually.
It tries to milk shit, and like it works for some things, but not multi-platform. Are you kidding me?
Was anybody ever unsure, like, when you heard about, like, story from Kingdom Hearts, and you're like, is somebody fucking with me? This sounds like online fan fiction.
Well, I just, like, how long did we have to wait for Kingdom Hearts 3? 15 years?
Yeah, when the actual player base for Kingdom Hearts was already 40.
Yeah. Like, I remember clearing Kingdom Hearts 2 when I was 17, 18 years old. I'm now 30. Like, 13.
So you guys are just like trashing Kingdom Hearts right now?
Oh yeah, that's
Yes.
Well,
And here.
1 and 2 was amazing. 3 was just dog shit.
Yeah, I can't disagree, unfortunately. I really love Kingdom Hearts, but like, it's really hard to love 3. It's such a bad game.
No,
Writing is a disaster.
I played it once because I was excited. You know, I was
I
like,
know.
all right, finally do it. And I played it, and I was like, this game is dog shit.
I was so excited.
bad.
The gameplay was good, but like the difficulty was just way too easy, and it like didn't make use of any of its mechanics. And then the story and writing was just garbage.
It was bad. It was
Oh
just
my
bad.
god.
And like at the end, you know, with, like that cutscene, I was like, oh wait, you're telling me you might make a 4th one? Like really?
I was so fucking mad, dude. They just like were hyping up Kyrie all game, and then they just like had Sora fucking save her again.
Oh my god, dude.
Well, yeah, they basically set it to where it was like, okay, this is all gonna be one part of the story. It's gonna be like a big overarching chapter, but we're gonna leave some other stuff out that we didn't really want to explain, and maybe we'll get to it in the next 3 games. Fuck you.
It didn't even feel like a complete game, dude.
And the next 3 side games that are going to be multi-platform. So stupid.
It literally did not even feel like a complete game. It just felt like a lead up into something else.
Like, and that's why I loved Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, because 2 felt like a complete game. 2 felt like it felt like a, you know, an evolving world. Like Sora, like with its different forms, and like the enemies were actually like got stronger. You know, you face it just felt good.
I know, and there was none of that in 3. Just nothing.
No, there was nothing. It was bad. It's trashed.
So Chase, did you get Mordell on your paid on what was it? Free tickets?
Fuck you, Kage. How many copies did you get for how much?
I haven't tried yet. That's why I was asking before, because I'm gonna do the free pull and that's it.
I did
the
paid
paid
and 20
and
tickets and the paid.
Nightclubber.
And then to make you feel bad, I got 3 copies of CGM out of 13 free gem pulls,
Nice.
which isn't too bad at all.
Kage definitely has the streamer luck.
Not usually. Usually I get fucked in the ass when I'm trying to get something I want.
Yeah, I just had to go to pity for CGM. And then it's like, alright, well, it's time for me to be lucky on Murdoch. And, nope, the scout system in this game is just fucking terrible.
It's like
I
Chase
know I
games
sound
go
like-
to hell.
I know I sound like a baby, but it shouldn't be this easy. Like, it shouldn't be that, like, the vast majority of multis make you, like, sad.
I mean,
That's not
Kage
good.
Kage said it earlier in the Discord, like, you know, when we were talking about getting that 300 gems. It'd be nice to get a daily pull.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, most games I played, there was some sort of daily pull or a discounted. Octo is smart. Octo makes it to where if you do their paid pull a day, it's 1/3 the cost of the normal. So essentially, it's $1 to do a pull, and then after you do 30 pulls, you get a free 5-star unit. You can only do one a day, but you eventually get rewarded for doing the pulls.
So you can pay $365 and get 12
Yeah,
5 stars.
12 5-stars over the course of a year, where you can pay that here and get
You
fucked
could
in
pay,
the ass.
yeah, you could pay $364 and get 1 copy.
You're getting up with a fucking squid copy or some shit.
Huh. That's such
Yeah,
a
also-
major difference.
Keep in mind that 1 copy of most units does dick for you if you can't afford to buy the First Awakening. And then you get most of its capabilities.
Which is why I was like praying to get 1 more copy of CGM, because I was at 1 Awaken, and then I was like, okay, if I can get 1 more, then I can use the shards to get the 3rd, so now I get the...
That's his
And-
Dragon Scale plus MP
Mhm.
recovery, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and you know a lot of these fights, I noticed it with the Eternal Dream, and I noticed it with the past event, like, you know, getting the decorations and the medals. Having high awakenings has kind of been fucking me with a lot of the, like, I know, like, I've been using videos for strats and whatnot, but like my agility's all thrown off. It's not the same.
Oh yeah, ranking up your or awakening your Seraphie is the worst thing following guides.
Yeah, I mean, and just, I don't know. It's almost like they want you to have Awaken 1 or Awaken 2. They don't want you to have Max because it kind of, I don't know. The meta's changing, and those Eternal Dreams fights were just a fucking stupid. Like, why?
I didn't even bother finishing them all. I said, fuck it. I just didn't care.
Dude, yeah, I got.
you
I
get
got
5 meta.
I got
You're done.
5 for the orb, and I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing it.
Wait, Hutch, you're a whale, aren't you?
He used to be, and then his wife found
Okay.
out.
Right,
No,
okay.
He doesn't even know.
There's
Wait,
like,
you hide things from
you
your
know,
wife?
it's
No,
just
she spends a shit ton of money. I can spend money.
But you said she doesn't know.
I'm just
It don't matter.
I'm just pure wine mode tonight, but like I think we're all on the same page. Like there's no in between of like it's either auto or like this is no fun at all unless you're a fucking masochist. Like trying to figure out a stage in this game is just smashing your head against the wall or trying to find a guide that you can follow step by step very, very carefully.
I would say this event and the past event, I'm definitely smashing my head against the wall. But a lot of the other times, I used to be able to like see their weaknesses, pick a couple of units, couple
Yeah.
cards, switch a couple things up. I could figure it out.
Yeah, but that's when
Like,
you were dropping
and I got-
thousands of dollars into the game too, though.
I still
No,
have
I
most
kind
of the same
I'm
units.
glad I'm not the only one that like feels that way about the last event. It was really terrible.
Oh yeah, no, it was really hard to clear the last one. And then, I'm sorry, like every 2 or 3 events or so, they do it to us where, dude, I want to use these grind stages where we grind whatever stupid fucking thing is available. I want to be able to level units. It's like, oh great, well I got to bring at least 2 max level S ranks to this.
Oh,
You
dude,
know?
how come there's not a BR for every fucking event? Like, it's not that hard.
It's usually not that bad, but yeah, like they've chosen to do that to us twice in a row now. Where it's like, yeah, here's some piece of shit units and level them on your own, kid.
Or it's
You know
like,
what-
here's the BR, but we're gonna give this one to you at the tail end of the event, so you only have like 7 or 10 days to get it done. Good luck.
Also, why can't they make a general BR that you can bring any unit into?
That'd actually
Like-
be nice.
Doesn't that sound like a great fucking idea? And it doesn't have to be a massive amount of XP. It could be 5,000 XP. I don't care. I'd grind it.
Oh yeah, you'd auto
Yeah.
click it, you fucking bastard.
I mean, I'm not a gacha expert, but yeah, I mean, the one I'm not used to leveling your characters mattering so much. It's very annoying.
I mean, it does because they gain the extra potency.
No, what I mean is like, for it to be such an effort.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's usually just automatic in the games that I'm used to.
Oh, I mean, I noticed it like when we had the double XP going. Like I was like getting dudes in my level up team and getting them out, and now I've had the same level up team for like 2 weeks almost. When that went away.
Yeah, dude, the experience to get to 130 is crazy. I left my phone on last night because I got a C rank. One of the new ones, like, oh, okay, this one, I gotta farm this up last minute, and it didn't finish. Like, after hours and hours, just to get a C rank up to max level, it's nuts.
Damn. Anyways, guys, it's 12:30, so I'm definitely gonna hit the hay.
Well, I got an S rank on the Murdo free tickets, but it was a Slime heart, so yeah, there's that.
Oh, dude,
Rainbow
that's what
medal.
killed me is I actually got a lot of rainbow tickets when I pulled. Well, I mean, on like most multis, I got 1 rainbow ticket, like 2 out of 3 of them, I guess. And yeah, it's just like, I've said this a lot. For those of you that haven't heard me whine about this before, whenever you get a rainbow ticket, there's an 82% chance that you're fucked. Like, the featured rate within the S rate rank is way too low. Fucking stupid. Like, I'm literally like here wondering. I know that it's. Ugh, why am I not uninstalling? Ugh.
For the community, and because you
That
finally don't
is
have to be targeted by
100%.
me anymore.
Oh, that never drove me away. But no,
That's
that's literally it. My guild is the only reason I'm staying. Cause like, dude, I spend way too much fucking time in this game. Ugh.
I mean, if you spend 4
It was
hours
so
with
hard
Pack, he can talk you out of your account.
Yeah, it was so hard not to spend another
Oh,
gem pack
dude.
out.
I forgot to tell you guys, someone, because I posted my account on that website like months ago when I first posted it. So some random person messaged me, wrote like a whole paragraph and offered me $100 for it.
What was the
What the
paragraph?
I don't know. I skimmed Reddit and just saw the $100 and just deleted the notification.
Was that Pack sending you that secretly to try and get the account for Element?
I
You mean
doubt
Nib?
it. Yeah, it could have been a.
Could have
nib.
been for a nib too.
That would have been funny.
Oh yeah, he gets you hudged and he buys your account and joins AW.
Yeah,
That
I'm
would've been
sorry.
funny,
I'm
actually.
not selling my account for $100. Like, what? Are you nuts? Come on. No.
Oh, I thought that was Pack speaking. You sound a little bit like Pack. Sorry.
How do I sound like Heck?
He doesn't sound
Oh.
homosexual.
Oh, no. Thanks, Kage. Anyways, Good night,
Yeah,
guys.
you guys are
Have
all
fun
terrifying.
complaining about Square Enix.
See you.
Night.
Later.
Yeah, I didn't get shit on the Murdow one, but I'm only doing the free pull. They're not getting any real money out of me. They can suck my dick.
Yeah, too late for me.
Yeah, I know. You already got fucking dragged back into that.
Yeah. Well, all right. Later, guys.
See?
See ya.
Well, congrats on the luck, though. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, getting the CGE, what was it? Like just a 3K pull? I was going into that expecting disappointment, so maybe that's why. I was like, I'm gonna get fucked on this.
Done all right with gem pulls, but I've always done terrible with the tickets, it seems.
I actually got surprisingly lucky on that banner too. It was the first one I got lucky on in a while, which was nice. I got like 210 times ticket pulls on that and then got it.
That's not bad.
Yeah, hey there.
Oh wow! Look who it is!
Yeah, Nier actually talks, and so does Trump.
I do, yeah.
Wow, awesome.
Not often, but sometimes.
I was gonna say, where you been hiding?
I don't know. I just kind of isolate a bunch.
That's you like Trump.
Yeah, I guess.
He
I don't know,
isolates his
stop like that.
personality.
Oh, no, not like that. Totally different.
Oh, okay.
I just don't talk to people.
Oh, that's awesome. I've been getting out more, enjoying the summer.
God, it's hard to enjoy the summer when it's like literally just 110 degrees out all the time.
Well, the preaching
No
to the
thanks.
choir on that one.
Yeah, shit about that.
Oh my God.
Around 150
Summer's
weather.
fucking miserable these days.
Cool off soon, and I'm gonna be enjoying it.
Especially since we moved near like trails and other stuff. It'd be nice.
When they do, got a patio, deck, the whole nine. Be nice. As soon as
I
this weather.
prefer winter. I like go out all the time in winter, and in the summer I'm just in my room all the time because it's too damn hot. Do not like the summer.
I'm good up until 105, and then once we get over 105, I'm done. I'm just
Oh gosh. I don't deal with heat. I like melt at like 100. I deal with it though.
Yeah. Once I'm over 105, I'm done. Up to there, I'm okay.
I gotcha. That's where it gets like really, really intolerable.
Yeah, it gets bad. But I can deal with it better than East Coast humidity, so it's okay.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Anyways, guys, this has been the back. If you want to join the back with the back code and subscribe down below. If you like this video, say write down comments down below. If you want to support the content on this channel, go ahead and share. If you want to see more content from this channel, hit that bell icon for notifications. Guys, the same Twitch, join Kage's Gaming Discord server for all the best underground conversations, and join my server for all the best to give you guys. Anyways, guys, in the back signing out. Peace.